It's on. Everything good.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Man, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. We trying this again. Yes, we are back, Jerome. We are back in the building, back on the map. Something is going on every single day right here as soon as we start the broadcast, Riis. I think it's old boy. I think he got the Russians working against us because every time I show the picture of dude at the beginning, he uses Russian connects. In case you don't know, Riis, did I tell you about dude he could be a Russian spy? Since Greg Hines done put it all in the paper.
He could be a spy.
He, not a spy. What do you call that? Like a
double agent or something.
Nah, you know, like the people that like Russians, like not that, like a sympathizer.
Okay.
Right? Like, you know, like the people. Anyway, we're gonna talk about this, man. In this whole thing, I guess my question is, if you hang out, if you've been investing in Russia your whole life, do all the stuff that you did, is that hurting the Ukrainians right now? I'm just asking. One of these days we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna need my military people, or like somebody. Like I need Ruthie to talk to me about espionage. Like yeah, espionage. I got an asset. That's what it is. A Russian asset. Hey Riis. Hey man, this stuff. Since first of all, got something to say. I just want to say this to my audience very quickly. I have refrained. If you pay attention, really, you don't hear me, and I'm going to do this quickly. You don't really hear me talk a lot about the campaign and my wife. You might hear me talk about stuff offline, but you really don't hear me using this platform to get involved in my wife's business, because I try to stay out of it, right? I just stay out of it. But apparently, this guy that she's running against has decided that he's going to try to make me one of his targets. Riis. The dude is shopping this story about me being a conflict of interest for my wife, right? And going around and saying all type of crazy stuff to the reporters. But Riis, he asked, do you see the picture? You know what that picture is? Me raising him money. And even after I raised him money, Riis, I never once asked him or never went to the assessor's office to do anything. But he's trying to suggest that now that I'm not doing anything, that it would be a conflict of interest. So I just want to so I feel like, I guess I want to know, if that's the case, well, what's up with Russia, homie? Should we be concerned about your relationships with Russia and the Russians? And the fact that you told us not to, that you saying that Americans should soften up. Should I play like Riis? I'll be out there's videos of all type of stuff where they praising Russia and doing all type of stuff. Riis, I ain't saying nothing. I've been minding my business over here. Do y'all hear me talking? Do y'all don't even hear me talking crazy? It be a story in the paper every day about dude. I don't say nothing. I just be quiet. And it's like, Riis, you ever had somebody try and put you on Front Street and you got all they texts? You be like, didn't you tell me about that somebody you was trying to be slick one day, and then somebody put your inbox, showed you what or your boy, and then showed you what was in the inbox? Dog, stop messing with me. Because I really didn't. You're going to have to ask people. You're going to have to answer the questions. So I just want to be clear that anytime if it was a conflict then, if it's a conflict now, why wasn't it a conflict then? And I ain't going to tell you, hey, Riis going to keep playing with me. I'm going to start taking the pictures off. You see them smiley faces on the picture? I'm going to start taking them off, and then then it's going to be like, oh, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Right? Riis, I be mad when they be doing this to me, man. When they be acting like they don't know me. And then I be like, but hold on. Remember this? Remember that time you had, see the flyer with that Maze Jackson, you, dude? Could you please just keep my name? Riis, I feel like Steve when I say keep my name out your mouth. Focus on your bill. Stop trying to make a distraction and use me to be a distraction, and go do your job, dude. Do your job. Leave me alone. That's all I'm saying. Just leave me alone. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to be in trouble, so I'm going to stop now because I'll be mad. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Dude just blew me, though. He really did, Riis.
That's what they expecting, though, man.
I know. That's why I'm not going crazy. That's why I ain't going crazy. But I just so we clear, okay, if you want to act up, hey, how Jay say, you know and I know, and you know that I know. You know that I know that you know that I know. It's the Maze Jackson Show. All right, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man. Ooh, yeah, anti-US. He's anti-United States, too. All right, dog. We gonna start since you want to play with me. And you better tell old girl, hey, Riis. The lady got mad because here's the funniest thing in the world to me. They can use us, but we can't use us. They can use us against us, but then if you call it, then it's offensive. Hey, Riis, I might have to be the most offensive Negro this go around. Be quiet, Riis. It's like, but I'm a tick, 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 tick. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler in the buildings on the ones and twos. What's up, DJ Riis the Ruler? How you feeling?
That's about the best. You already know the rest, man. How you doing today, man? It's a good day today. I just realized it.
It's 420. You got to get us some theme music because when I say 420, you got to be like, right? Or some boom, 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 boom. We need some Snoop Funk, Dr. Dre, but you can't do it because you put the Snoop Funk on, they're gonna be cutting us off again. But it is 420. Riis, when I was in college, everybody used to be all excited about 420, and I'd be like, what the heck is 420? Then I went out on the quad. And that, Riis, is where I learned the difference between cannabis and weed. Because white people was smoking cannabis on the quad on 420, sitting on their blankets like it was all good. The brothers was standing on the white people was sitting out in the grass smoking cannabis. Like on the quad where the white folks bring their blankets out in the middle of the day. They sit in the grass. Black folks, well, I'm not finna sit down in this. I got my good clothes on. So while they were sitting in the grass smoking cannabis, we was standing on the quad on the pad smoking weed. They got to smoke cannabis. We did not get to smoke weed. But it is 420, so we're going to talk about it today because I want to talk about the evolution of cannabis over your lifetime. How is the concept? We're going to talk about that. Riis, let me run through some of these headlines, though. Are you celebrating 420 today? I hope not if you're driving the wheels of steel.
There's no wheels of steel today.
Lucky for you. All right. So should I expect that you or will it be your cousin celebrating 420 today?
I just got to drop my cousin off at the event. I told my cousin I couldn't make it.
I tell my cousin on 420, I'd be like, I cannot F with you today, cuz. Yeah. Actually, Riis, a little fairy brought me a gift for 420, but I got meetings today. Shout out to Ruthie Moore for scheduling me meetings today. Thanks, Ruthie. Ruthie. Meanwhile, Ruthie out here like, wait, is it election day today for Ruthie? Oh, so Ruthie ain't. Well, all right, we gonna have to go out and volunteer for Ruthie's campaign too. Pass out some flyers. What's going on? We got to get on top of that. But yes, it is 420. We're gonna talk about that a little bit more later on today. What you doing to celebrate 420? And how has it changed? All right. Mask offs. The masks are off, Riis, on planes, trains, and automobiles. You see I did that, planes, trains, automobiles? You don't even know about that. You don't know about that. It's a movie, dog. Look at, see?
Oh, we didn't turn into a song.
It's John Candy. Planes, trains, and automobiles. And it was John Candy and Richard Dreyfuss, I think it was.
Oh, Chris Brown made that into a song now, man. I'm sorry.
Damn millennials. They turned Omicron and Omarion. Now y'all done turned our planes, trains. Look, I always thought I was being clever with my planes, trains, and automobile with an 80s reference. And you talk about some Chris Brown. Man, I'm moving on. Mayor says no to casino opposition. She said if you don't take the casino, you're going to pay more taxes. Riis, can I say this? No matter what we do, we're going to pay more taxes. I am starting to really think we don't need to give them. I think not we don't need to give this mayor. I think we need to wait until after the election to have this, to give this casino out. Right? I know people been waiting all this time and there's a hurry up, rush. But like if we're not going to have, I'm not sure if we're going to have the same mayor or not, but if we are going to have the same, if we're not going to have the same mayor, I don't think we should handicap them. And because the election is in February, Riis, it's less than 10 months away. You think we could wait 10 months before we make a casino decision? I think we got to think about it. I don't know that the aldermen should vote. And then here's the crazy part, Riis. If they vote on this casino, and they may be voting against the will of their new ward because they're going through a remap. And have we heard from the mayor on whose side she is on this map? Because if we ain't heard whose side she is on this map, she really should be really thinking about how she going to get this casino done. Black Caucus should be withholding. Come out and stand up, say it loud, say it proud. I'm with the city map. We'll talk about that. Did you see the judges practice the no snitch policy out in Hinsdale? Two judges and a defense attorney were all in a car. One judge drunk hit a parked car. They said they went to question the other judge at the hospital. The other judge said, "No, I'm not talking. I plead the fifth." Riis, if you a judge, don't you have to snitch? Or is it like a code among judges? Like, hey, dog.
Like snitch on like another judge?
I mean, period. Like, if you a judge, if you sentence people to jail for not telling.
Them usually be the one that don't.
David. All right. I'm going to let that stop right there. We're going to take a quick break, and then we come back. I'm going to finish up these headlines plus the social media question of the day.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTBP, media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP, media's just for you and me.
Serving on a local school council provides a unique opportunity to become engaged in your community and play an active role in policy decisions affecting your school. LSCs are critical to ensuring positive student outcomes in a dynamic school environment. Local school council members are elected every 2 years by parents, community members, and school staff.
Chicago Public School local school councils elections are coming up. Wednesday, April 20th are elementary school elections, and Thursday, April 21st are high school elections. Don't forget to cast your votes on April 20th for elementary school candidates and April 21st for high school candidates.
These LSC elections are the epitome of local politics. It is so important for us to pay attention to what is happening to these schools in our communities.
On Wednesday, April 20th, vote for Ruthie Moore for Arthur Ashe Elementary School. Vote for my daddy, Devin Gordon, for Woodline Community School.
Let's go vote for our children. The future is now.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:34 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update. Sports, the Chicago Cubs lose to the Tampa Bay Rays 6-5. The White Sox game postponed again due to weather. Let's head on the traffic. Over to the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop will be 22 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 17 on the Edens. Deerfield to the Exchange will be 29 minutes. Exchange to Deerfield will be 25, while the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 38 minutes, 27 minutes back out to Thorndale. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 33 minutes. Outbound will be the same, while the Bishop Ford is 34 minutes. I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 30 minutes to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 17 minutes to the Loop, 14 minutes to 95th. On DuSable, Lakeshore Drive South, 55th to Jackson and back will be 7 minutes and 8 minutes north Randolph to Bryn Mawr and Bryn Mawr to Randolph. Today's weather is currently 43 and cloudy. Today will be a high of 54 and a low of 43. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Wednesday here on the Maze Jackson Show.
To the grave, from the grave, back to glory. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler right here. Every morning, Riis, we do this thing, but it's not gonna be every morning for long. So we going to the afternoons, man. I'm still picking the day, but in the month of May, be ready for the 3 to 6 Maze Jackson Show. Cause I'm tired of falling asleep in the chair. I really am. Plus, the summertime is coming around. Plus, I got a lot of smack to talk. So I'm just let y'all know. The new and improved Maze Jackson coming to the afternoons. So I'm going to be awake. I won't be sleeping. And you won't ever catch me slipping again. Inside, outside game, I don't really play that. I don't do the in-between. Only time I play in-between is with the cards. You dig? It's the only time I play in-between. So you'll catch me 3 to 6 every day, Monday through Friday. It is the Maze Jackson Show right here. Let me run through some more of these headlines. Did you see the Brianna Gibbs story? Riis, have you ever heard of the rapper Johnny May Cash? Rapper Johnny May Cash was shot 4 times by his girlfriend Brianna Gibbs in what was called self-defense. They call it Riis. First of all, okay, you know who Young Chop is? Okay, so he is the cousin of Young Chop, who is known for having done music with Chief Keef. Well, apparently Tyrone Pittman, aka Johnny May Cash, it looks like beat up his girlfriend, and she shot him. Riis, she got $100,000 bail, which means she got paid $10,000 to get out. She showed up to the police department. You look at her mugshot, face all beat up. They said her lungs were bruised. There's video of him beating her up on other occasions. I don't understand the whole domestic violence thing. I know this is going to sound really crazy. But I don't want to sound like a punk. But now I ain't going to say I ain't never restrained nobody who has been flailing. Let's put it that way. But I've never I can't imagine beating up like my girl, my wife, anyone that I don't, and like to hit them like a man. And what I've come to recognize is that this is not as uncommon as I thought. There are people that walk amongst us that do things like this, and people play like they don't know, or they pretend, or they accommodate. One day I want to talk about domestic violence, because I'm going to tell you, I feel a certain way about Dr. Dre after watching the Michelle movie. After I saw that, I was like, Dre, I mean, Riis, when you, when you know somebody be manhandling somebody, do you just play it off? You be like, dang, if she ain't going to leave, ain't my business. Mind your business. You mind your business? Is that what you do? Do you mind your business, or do you say something?
Am I friends with who? With the man or the lady? It really does make a difference.
Both. But let's say you more friends with the dude. Do you say dog?
Yeah, I don't let them beat out.
Why you there?
Right, I'd be like, come on, bro. Let's go and hang on about it. I try to, I don't try to get all in their business, but I try to, You feel me? I try to break it up. You know, man. You know, that's walk it off. You know what I'm saying? If it's a female friend, which I had, you know, I wouldn't do nothing now only because I have done something before and I fought the dude and then she went back with him the next day. So why you know what I'm saying? Like, why waste my time? But my homie, I tell him, come on, bro, let's.
Like, does that person stay your homie?
I mean, he got some issues. I mean, he cool. I just know that's what he do.
I just gotta say, honestly, y'all. Honestly, never in my natural life have I had a known abuser, and if I did know you were an abuser, then we couldn't be homies. Like, it just don't work with me. But I was just thinking about that I was thinking about that sister, like but you know, dude was like, you ain't gonna do nothing. Like, if she got the pistol and you come out after, you know he was on something. Like, he was like, he done that's like, hey bro, a pistol pointed at you, they done seen that experience before. So I was just pointing that out. Willie Wilson announced his third gas giveaway. Riis, the brother putting up another $1 million this Saturday. Now, he pulled it on him, though. Let me tell you what he told Lori Lightfoot and J.B. Pritzker. Take the gas tax off just for that, so that the people could get more gas. So now the mayor's going to deny Willie Wilson and the gun. Hey, man, the battle of gas. How many votes do you think this gas giveaway? 3 gas giveaways, Riis. Riis, the man done gave away $2.5 million. I would have said at least do it closer to. But Riis, you know that people going to take his gas and run. Are they gonna take his gas and run?
I don't know, man. He might win.
He won every black ward. Hey man, I'm not sleeping on Dr. Wilson. I do think that stated, Dr. Wilson does remain a flawed candidate. Now I'm gonna tell you, us as black folks, they are part of the flaws that will be held against us. It'd be a challenge for him to get the white progressive vote in some cases, but I think he could get the white right vote while you tripping. Weird. All right, so Dr. Wilson, and did you see the mayor trying to match? Okay, Willie Wilson is proving that his Willie is bigger. Willie done said, I got another $1 million. Meanwhile, the mayor's still trying to get hers through city council. But Riis, she want to give us a card. We're going to talk about this. Have you seen the mayor want to give you a credit card?
But you got to go and you got to make sure that your card up to date and you're ready. Like, you got to have
you got to get your papers right.
Yeah, get out.
But Riis, do you see the credit card she got? Do you see this? This joint look like a straight up MasterCard. She got a MasterCard logo on it. I'll just put it up there for y'all to see. You see how it say Mayor Lori E. Lightfoot, Chicago moves? You know what that reminds me of, Riis? Remember our boy Trump when he smelt out them checks? He melted out them checks and was like, but I'm signing every one of these bad boys. So the mayor wants to pass out the gas cards that say Chicago Mayor Lori E. Lightfoot, the Chicago moves. Now, when Donald Trump did that with them stimulus checks, y'all was acting up. But now, look, all right, we're going to talk about it, though. We're going to talk about it in a little while. All right, we'll talk about that at 8 o'clock. Also, yesterday, the mayor alluded to the fact that she is getting ready to kick off our campaign. She said that we have to control our own narrative. Riis, she be listening to our show. She said we can't take what the naysayers say. We have to tell our own story and control our own narrative. And she said, don't worry about what people tell you about the carjackers and the crime in the city of Chicago. That's not a big deal. She said we are the number one city bound for the economic recovery, and she said she don't want to have planted all these seeds to make us the greatest city ever and then leave and walk away. Riis, is the mayor, is she delusional, or is it? I guess my question is, because sometimes I think I be around here with y'all black people too much and I be missing it. Right? I think I feel like there are people out here that are like, the mayor's done a great job. So maybe I'm missing that. Now, I was just scrolling through my photos and I found a picture of the bridge up with the trucks blocking it and us being like left on the other side of the moat. You know, I've thought of like Game of Thrones when everybody coming inside the gate. And then if you outside the gate and they let it up, whatever happened to you happened to you. It was like they did a bridge across the north and south side. And I just can't forget those images, Riis. Ooh, did I tell y'all, by the way? Shout out to CNN. CNN want to holler at your boy. I was feeling all like a failure. And the producer, I get an email. Then, I don't be answering them calls. When they be like New York, I'd be like, even though Riis, I don't got no bill collectors. But Riis, it was I looked, the phone rang, I ain't answer. I checked my email. CNN talk about Jake Tapper would like to do a special with you, and I was like, really? Hey Joe, take that. It's the Maze Jackson Show. That'd be 3 years in a row. They said they want it for fourth quarter, right around election time. Riis, it's your man, 3 years in a row with the national special. I become a documentary dude. It's all right, though. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Finally, Pritzker signs the $46 billion budget at Chicago State. Did anybody ask him about the cannabis cartel? Like, Riis, I think people, this is the craziest thing, right? People be in the same room with you talking about you, but then when you come in the room, they don't say nothing. Right? Like, they be talking smack, they be talking. Nobody gonna ask JB about the cannabis? Nobody. And they got their feet up at our crib. People come in your own studio, your own joint, and be acting like it's all good. You be like, wait a minute, JB, didn't you just not give us no cannabis? Didn't you just? But alas, Riis, it is the Maze Jackson Show. I know what it's like. All right, it's time, Riis. You got your finger on the button? Get your finger on the button, because it's time to do this. Let's do it. It is, in celebration of 420, we're going to ask this question. Let's go.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
How has the concept of cannabis changed in your life? Riis, when I was in college, I remember everybody always talking about Amsterdam. Like, the big thing was everybody wanted to go to Amsterdam because you could go to Amsterdam and they had these cafes. And in these cafes, you could literally go inside and get yourself cannabis. And Riis, I got to tell you, I remember being like, now this was, I also said there would never be a black president. But I remember being like, man, how crazy is that you can partake in cannabis in Amsterdam legally? And Riis, I got to tell you, I never thought that cannabis would be legal in this country. Then I remember walking down the quad one day. And as I was walking down the quad, I heard this song. Ain't Nothing But a G Thing. And I don't know if y'all remember, but in Nothing But a G Thing, it was the origin. And then from Nothing But a G Thing, which had to be like the biggest song of the, like, it had to be the biggest song of the year. Riis, I don't know if you remember, the album cover came out for The Chronic. And there was just a cannabis leaf on a black cover. And then it became the symbol that was on the hat. Then I remember the movie Friday came out. And it was like this thing that had always existed underground. Because Riis, I'm going to tell you something. I remember smelling cannabis as a baby. Not as a baby, but like a 5 or 6 year old. Like, my parents would let me be babysit by somebody. And now you ever be like a kid and you be thinking back to stuff you remember when you was a kid. They had a roach clip. And then one day you smell the weed and you be like, I know that smell. Now, Riis, you years ahead. See, you at part 2. I'm at the beginning. See, you at chronic 2000. I'm chronic 1995, 96. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Gin and juice. Then Snoop came. Remember, we first heard about Snoop during Deep Cover. And everybody's like, who is that? Then the G thing video came out, and it was down, and then I felt like from that moment on, I feel like Dr. Dre truly ushered cannabis, and Snoop ushered cannabis out of the shadows and into the mainstream. Riis, when I was a short, give us a call, 872-259-7474. Open up those phone lines. I want to know, how has the concept of cannabis changed in your lifetime? Riis, when I first went to college, now mind you, the white kids, they smoked all the time, all through high school, all through college, whatever. And I can't lie, there was probably some black people that was on it too. But Riis, I remember when I first got to college, people would be sitting around in a room at a party, and then all of a sudden, like 4 or 5 people would dip off. And they'd be gone for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then they'll come back, and their eyes will be little, and they'll be giggling. And they'll always be like, we got to go to the Quick Mart. I'm hungry, man. To now, Riis, if you walk down Green Street, if you walk down Halsted, white guys are smoking weed out in the public. How has the concept of cannabis changed in your lifetime? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Riis, I think that in my life, like I was sitting in a meeting the other day, and we were in the meeting, and this girl is smoking weed. She vaping. Like, and I was saying to myself, is this, have I missed something? Has the world changed that much that now you can cannabis everywhere? Because Riis, I gotta tell you, I'm not me, my cousin. He still be nervous. He be nervous to let people know that he might potentially smoke because he's fearful that they might judge him. Secondly, Riis, he still think he gonna go to jail. Thirdly, Riis, he doesn't really completely understand the difference between cannabis and cigarettes now. So, my cousin be asking, like when it's a smoking section, can you, like, say outside the United Center, can you bust out and just, do you still stop and, like, Riis, I still be pausing. Like, I'm not tripping, but like the white guys be outside, Riis, like outside of Soho, they straight up just be like it's a smoking section sometimes. I be like,
go to jail for that, man.
Riis, no, you can't. Not if you white.
I said you can't go to jail if you're black for smoking one blunt. Nah, man. Can't go to jail.
So if you saw the police now and you smoking,
I'm gonna keep smoking.
Outside.
What is he gonna do? What crime have I committed? That's if worst case scenario is a misdemeanor. I go to court and before
you get the misdemeanor and then the Cranes and them BGA be called talk about you pleaded, you was a felon and you pleaded to.
It's gonna be dismissed. Like the police is not gonna stop you over smoking the blunt. I guarantee. Outside, you could be downtown and we could be in the whitest neighborhood and no, they're not gonna do
really.
That. Yeah,
yes, they are. You don't think they're gonna stop you?
Nah. They gonna stop you in the white neighborhood
because you're black.
But but like I said, you could be downtown. You could walk past the police with a blunt. Like they not really.
Have you experienced this?
Yeah, it's too much. It's too what's the charge? And it's a marijuana state. So like, what have I done? did this, what the paperwork that they go.
Riis, so then how are we still getting locked up for it?
Because you're getting caught while you driving or something, that's a different charge.
So wait.
Yeah, that's a DUI. Technically, it is. It's a technical
driving under the influence.
Yeah, like you are.
But Hope is saying it's public intoxication.
Damn, they not gonna do that. They not gonna.
You can't. Do you think they'll stop you for walking around with a brown paper bag, sipping on Michigan?
Nah, they won't do that neither. have you not? I just told you, and you drove by. You can go sit at Buckingham Fountain in the summertime. It's about 100 cars of people smoking and drinking right in front of Buckingham Fountain. The police is on both ends with their lights on. Like, nah, they not. Like you have to really be doing something now. Like, they're not finna arrest you for that. Nah, it's too much paperwork. It's not going nowhere. Like, it's gonna be dismissed before you even get out your seat. I'm like, dismissed, and then that's it.
Well, Kim Foxx said she wasn't prosecuting any cannabis cases.
Yeah, well, that's why. So, and that's why they not gonna. What's the point then if you're not gonna prosecute any cannabis cases, especially for outside smoking? Then nah, I'll keep going.
What?
I've been put about 4 years ago. I got pulled over by the police. It probably was even longer than that. About like 5 years ago, and I had some marijuana on me. And the police officer came, and I don't even lie. I'm gonna definitely show it to you. So he said, "Man, let me see it." He smelled it, said, "Oh man, this is some real good stuff," and gave it right back to me and kept going. Like, they really don't like marijuana. Like, you have to have a big quantity of it for them to really like mess with you. Nah, ain't nobody finna do that, and it's legal. Like, no, man.
Riis.
Smoking outside of my hood was like every
Okay, so now let me tell you, because the rules used to be, you can smoke on Madison and Pulaski. Man, bro, you can smoke on Madison and Pulaski since I think my first time on Madison and Pulaski is 1995. Riis, I never forget, my cousin was hanging with Big Swill and them, and they was standing straight out on Madison Pulaski, rolling, smoking, and I was like, guys, we're gonna go to jail. And that's the first time I saw the police going by. They was like, man, oh my God, I was telling my cousin, you gotta go. Man, my cousin was like, man, if you don't leave me alone,
right.
If you don't calm your ass down, come on, man, we gotta go. My cousin be like, man, calm your ass down.
It's too much, man. And then because it's legal, right, like you can actually ride around with up to an ounce. So like I said, it's really.
But it got to be in the smell proof. You not all the time, Riis. I told you. You was getting jammed up when I was doing the grand jury if you had the smell of burnt cannabis. I just feel like there's rules for white people with cannabis and there's rules for black people. And I just don't know that we are straight to walk down Michigan Avenue. I feel you on Buckingham Fountain because it's like, it's like one of them things. It's like a concert, right? They like keep it all contained. We can't tell y'all they do ecstasy for Lollapalooza right here. So we can't trip. But if you walk on Michigan Avenue, bro, I feel like if you somewhere by the bean, and I got to ask a question, like, how does it work with the kids? Like, do you put the B out when the kids are, not your kids, but the kids, when you walking down Michigan, it's kids. I'm saying, it's kids. Riis, I still be like, damn. Like, if I smell something, like, even if I'm driving, I be like, damn. I remember one time, I ain't gonna tell you this story, but one time my cousin was driving by the windows, because if somebody got some good stuff and you be driving by, you can smell it even if you're just driving by. And somebody's smart ass son said, that smells like your car. My cousin almost knocked his nephew all the way up out the car. But you couldn't really say nothing because he was just being like, they say the craziest thing. I was looking like, he was, it was like,
with nobody right now. Like,
you was borderline. Like, if this was the 70s, you would have got popped for that.
He got the same cologne.
He smelled like your car. The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages. We're going to be talking to, they out there cooking. Did they bring infused breakfast or did they just bring us a regular breakfast?
Oh, man, I hope
on 420. They remember last year for 420 went, well, no, it wasn't for 420. It was for my birthday last year when Carrie brought us the meal and she had the infused meal.
Oh, yeah.
And we was eating like it was a whole thing and everything was, and it was like, Anyway, y'all, when we come back, we're going to be talking to candidate for Cook County Board President. He's run before, but he is back at it this time. He fought the pop tax, which I still hear polls very well. It is Attorney Richard Boykin. He's going to be coming in, taking advantage of the 7 o'clock hour, which I have said we're going to open up 7 o'clock for candidates who are running for office. If you got interest in being on the Mays Jackson Show, talking to the largest social media audience in the morning, give us a call. Reach out to Ruthie. Reach out to Aunt Neil. We'll get you scheduled, but we are trying to reserve that space to make sure that we have that opportunity. Riis, can I tell you something too? I'm not voting for Kirby Perkins, but I actually enjoyed the conversation we had with him yesterday, and even the conversation that we had outside. I think that's an example of fine-tuning your political philosophy, but I think he could be a credit going forward. Now, he got to conjugate. I'd be like, y'all CPSers, because the white folks will disqualify you on that, and you got to win some of them white votes. But I got to tell you, man,
looked good. I could see him be like a local school board kind, like
I could see him even being starting off right. He should have ran for local school council. It's like one of the things that we all, like y'all millennials, want to do is y'all want to start at the top.
I want to be the president.
I want to be the president of the United States. Obama did it.
What you just did? I just moved out my mama's house last week. I got my own car. I'm ready.
Side though, but I ain't gonna trip because I did appreciate him coming in. And so many people run. Or, they believe all the hype about Mays Jackson and he's anti this and he's on this and he's phobic this. And it's like, man, Joe, was like, once again, another opportunity where black people, when they don't allow white folks to interfere with their conversation, are able to find common ground. All right, y'all, it's the Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mays Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Serving on a local school council provides a unique opportunity to become engaged in your community and play an active role in policy decisions affecting your school. LSCs are critical to ensuring positive student outcomes in a dynamic school environment. Local school council members are elected every 2 years by parents, community members, and school staff.
Chicago Public School local school councils elections are coming up. Wednesday, April 20th are elementary school elections, and Thursday, April 21st are high school elections. Don't forget to cast your votes on April 20th for elementary school candidates and April 21st for high school candidates.
These LSC elections are the epitome of local politics. It is so important for us to pay attention to what is happening to these schools in our communities.
On Wednesday, April 20th, vote for Ruthie Moore for Arthur Ashe Elementary School. Vote for my daddy, Devin Boykin, for Woodline Community School.
Let's go vote for our children. The future is now.
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't want to work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't want to work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Wake up in the morning with the frown on my face, cause I know it's another day that I gotta face now. For people I don't wanna see, working at a job that I don't wanna be, breaking my back to the bone with nothing to show. But I got dreams and goals, but as soon as I clock in, I'm ready to go. So there's one thing I gotta know: why money ain't free? Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? Give it to me. I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why can't you just give it? Why can't you just give it? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Working in that 9 to 5, got your girl hella tired. Why won't they let me be? Now I understand why my mama always used to ask, did I think money grew on trees? I got these bills after bills and they just keep coming. Working overtime but my pockets ain't flooding, yeah, my funds low.
A dog life is scarce.
Why money ain't free?
Why it ain't free?
Why can't you just give it
Why
to
can't
me?
they just give it to
I
me?
don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather
Keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Yeah.
Why can't you just
Give it to me.
I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
How the money ain't free. Every 5 minutes, kids bothering me. They seem to think that money grows on trees. Always asking for allowance and clean one thing. I'm sick and tired of my funds being low. Spent the whole bag on the groceries at the store. Got a little something, but I need a little more. And I'm a single mama, you should already know.
Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free.
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it
Won't
to
you
me?
give it to me?
I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free?
Why money ain't free?
Why money ain't free? Yeah, why money ain't free?
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to life, can't toast no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve them.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. It is 420. 420, 420. Well, if you're black, it's 4. I mean, excuse me, if you're white, it's 420. If you're black, it's 420. If you are Latino, it is Cuatro veinte. If you're Asian, it's, I don't even know. I ain't even try. But I am curious to know, how has the concept of cannabis changed in your lifetime? Riis, we got anybody on that live line? Let me take this call real quick, and then we're gonna we're gonna get to our guest, because I'm gonna have to ask my guest about his interactions with the 420 and extractions. But before we do that, let's go to the live line. Caller, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. How has cannabis changed in your lifetime?
Good morning, Maze. Good morning, Riis.
Good morning.
This is Dr. Audrey.
What's going on?
Good morning. So I just wanted to quickly make a comment, and you're not going to be long-winded, so I'm going to be quick. But cannabis, one thing I want us to remember as we think about cannabis and how it's evolved in our lifetime is that most of the states passed their cannabis laws off the back of medicinal cannabis. And so that's a concept that has, it's not a new concept. It's old, we've been using cannabis for medicine for over 3,000 years. But it renewed itself. And I think it's really important for us to remember that, because in that, there is a lot that can benefit, especially autoimmune conditions, which disproportionately affect Black people, right? And so as we even look at cannabis as a medicine, stigma still exists. And so, of course, that limits the ability for us to do more research because it's still classified as a Schedule I drug, which means that it has no medicinal benefit, although we know with over 20,000 published papers that that is not true. We also know that disparities still exist. So even though we've had this medicinal cannabis program for so long, less Black people get certified for their medicinal cannabis card to use cannabis as a medicine than other races. And I think we really need to make sure that we're watching those things, because the medicinal and therapeutic benefits of cannabis are far, far and vast. And just to underscore that point, your body makes its own cannabinoids, right? So it makes its own mimic, essentially, the plant is a mimic of what the molecules your body makes, and those work with every system of your body to make it function better and more efficiently. So I think that, we have to fight to reduce stigma so that we can open up these doors and allow them to actually flourish in Black communities as well. So that's my comment, and happy 420 to all of you guys.
Got it. All right, it is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man in the building, y'all. And first of all, this is how I know you fancy, dog. I'm not going to even talk about your what is that, fuchsia? Your fuchsia V-neck. I'm not even going to start there. I'm going to start with the fact that he came with breakfast. And not only did he come with breakfast, they made a charcuterie board out there. I was like, now look, I thought some old-fashioned donuts, some dad donuts, maybe a little coffee. This brother came in and bust out a charcuterie board. And then, Riis, I'm going to tell you, this when you like two on point. Because the staffer, his man, and y'all know him, he one of the members of the Den, one of our family members, Harold E.K. Williams. He hit me at Riis. He hit me at 450. 550. Now, at 550, I'm like, don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me till I say, wake up! But your man was outside he was an hour in advance. What? Let me stop, because I'm hyping it all up. Let me do this. Let me go backwards. And welcome to the Maze Jackson Show. Not for the first time, not for the second time. Someone who has always been willing to talk to us, has always been straightforward and straight up with us. Welcome back to the Maze Jackson Show, Attorney Richard Boykin. How you doing today, Attorney Boykin?
It's a great day, Maze, to always be on the What's in It for the Black People show.
There it is. I like that. I like that. I like that you ain't scared to say it, and we're going to come back to that in a minute. Attorney Boykin, you are currently taking on, I really don't know how to categorize Madam President Toni Preckwinkle, because title-wise, she's probably got the title of the most powerful Black elected official in the state. Let's just put it there. I think right now the mayor's a little weak, but let's say she's in competition for the title of the most powerful Black person in the state. And then we can't forget our speaker, Chris Welch. But let's just say, for longevity's sake, she runs the party. She's the president of Cook County Board. Why are you running against her? I mean, it seems like the county's finances seem to be stable. She seems to maybe not be well liked. It's kind of like the manila envelope, right? Like, you're not excited about the manila envelope, but the manila envelope is utilitarian. You can put stuff in it, you can move it around. It's not you're excited about it, you don't like it. Why are you running against Madam President Toni Preckwinkle? She doesn't have a pop tax. What's the deal, man? Is this a revenge? Because they've been telling me this is a revenge run.
Well, let me just say this, Maze. I'm running for the people. At the end of the day, when you look at all of the socioeconomic issues, whether it be healthcare, whether it be public safety, African Americans fare the worst out of all of it. I mean, throughout the county. And so we have a public safety crisis in Cook County. The Cook County Board does primarily two things, public safety and public health. That's 90% of the budget, the $8 billion budget. And I think, quite frankly, Madam President and the entire board has failed when it comes to keeping people safe in their neighborhoods.
Uh-oh.
When it comes to, and it's not Richard Boykin, just ask the people. Look, I mean, 2/3 of the people throughout Cook County feel unsafe. I mean, they did a poll on it. And when you look at gun violence and you look at all the overall violence, carjackings, retail thefts, all of these things have combined to terrorize too many of our neighborhoods. And quite frankly, the people of Cook County deserve to be safe in their neighborhoods.
So, Attorney Boykin, when you talk about safety, it seems like it's a complex issue in that part of that safety conversation then gets us to this concept of criminal justice reform. It gets us to the pillar of the Black Caucus, etc. Talk to me about when we talk about safety. It's got to be a nuanced conversation. Help me understand it, because we know that we are disproportionately the victims of police misconduct, and at the same time, we are now victims of not only the police misconduct, but the crime that's going on in all around Chicago. And we find ourselves in a conundrum because black folks don't want to call the police because we know what the potential outcome is, but we want to be safe in our neighborhoods. How do you balance that? And then how does that relate to the county board? How do you affect that as the county board president?
So as county board president, you're responsible for funding all of the public safety stakeholder offices, the sheriff's police, the state's attorney, the chief judge, the public defender, the clerk of the circuit court. All of these offices get their funding from the Cook County Board. And so you have to use your leverage as the board president to ensure that these offices have everything that they need. Quite frankly, if you don't have safety, you don't have anything. You don't even have a county, because no businesses are going to come to certain communities because they don't feel safe. They can't protect their workers.
So so you said Madam President and the county board. Talk to me about, because it seems like when you say things like that, it's going to open you up to criticism from additional members of the board who might want to be quiet or say. But tell me,
the entire board. Look, at the end of the day,
okay,
those 17 members.
Talking to the mic.
At the end of the day, those 17 members have an obligation when they take the oath. The number one thing you got to do is make sure people are safe in their neighborhoods. And quite frankly, for the last 10 years, black people have been decimated in Cook County. Look, the Cook County Medical Examiner puts out a report, thanks to Richard Boykin when I was on the board. We require a report every year on the violence statistics. Last year's report showed that over 1,000 people killed in Cook County by homicide. 81% of those killed were African Americans. 15% of the people killed were Latinos. I mean, and it's been that trend for the last 10 years or so. And so you have African Americans being devastated. Now, look, when I was on the board from 2014 to 2018, I too take a victory lap. I helped to reduce the jail population at Cook County Jail. I also made sure that we voted for initiatives that would end cash bail for people who were nonviolent offenders or misdemeanor offenders. And so we wanted to make sure that we had criminal justice reform, but you can have that, but you can also have public safety. You can't just have criminal justice reform and be focused on that solely and then allow everything else to go to hell in a wastebasket. You can't do it. At the end of the day, the county board president also has a seat at the public safety stakeholder table throughout the state. And so you have to make sure that you collaborate with everybody else, with the governor, with the mayor of the city of Chicago, with the 130 municipal mayors throughout Cook County. and with other folks to make sure that people are safe.
So you mentioned collaboration. One of the things that I've heard as I have traveled throughout the county is that a lot of the municipalities are disappointed in how the COVID relief funds were distributed throughout the county. And it seemed like it went to programs that would amplify Madam President without necessarily working with the local towns and municipalities. Tell me how you'd be different and what should have happened with the CARES Act money and the money that the COVID relief money that came. What if you are talking to mayors and municipalities that would be tuned in, what would be different with how you managed the COVID relief response from the county?
The difference between me and Madam President is that I'm a bridge builder. I understand how to work with people, all people. And quite frankly, even if I don't like a person, I'm still going to work with them because they're part of Cook County. Their residents pay taxes. They deserve to have a say at the table. And so with the CARES Act money, with the Recovery Act, in terms of $1 billion from the rescue plan, I'm going to hold town hall meetings all across the county. And I'm going to solicit input from all of these mayors and from all of the residents of Cook County on how best to spend that money. I'm not going to use it, basically to feather my nest or to run a campaign on to say, hey, look, I got $1 billion from Washington for COVID relief, and I'm going to use this over here and over here. No, even with the way she handled the COVID, issue in terms of the vaccine passport. I mean, she basically followed the city's lead. The city said we're going to have a vaccine passport for restaurants and businesses. Then a week later or 2 weeks later, she came out and said, we're going to do that in the county without even talking to the mayors of the county. And so you had mayors in Orland Park and Tinley Park and other places in the county who said, we're not going to enforce that. I mean, you're not going to put that on us. Look, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. The reality of it is that you have 130 municipalities, and you have different, issues in each municipality. Some people are better with COVID than others, and so you don't just put a one-size-fits-all approach on every municipality. That's been her approach. She's heavy-handed. She's been vindictive towards people, and quite frankly, we won't do that. We'll work with people.
What if they don't? So what if these committeemen are scared to support you? Would you still work with them after the election?
Oh, absolutely. Look, let me tell you, I understand their position. And, if you got courage, you stand up and say, hey, no matter what, I'm going to stand for the people. But we're not taking it to the committeemen. We're taking our message to the people. And we believe that the people are more powerful than the committeemen.
I'm a fan. I'm a true believer of that. Just look at the petitions, and look at the petition process, and you would know that that the Democratic Party is in a peculiar state. I guess then my question becomes with you. You talked about dealing with different municipalities. There's a crisis. There's numerous crises in the Southland.
Yes.
One. I'm particularly biased towards the property tax, but I'm going to move that. Why is access to clean, safe drinking water such an issue in the Southland, in the poor Southland suburbs? I'm talking particularly Robbins, Dixmoor. We've seen these crises. We've seen their failing infrastructure. I give Ruthie a hard time all the time about Pembroke, right? But then we have our own versions, and there's a couple of the smaller towns that compete to not be the poorest town in Cook County. But it seems like, I watched last week as they held a press conference, didn't include people. Let me back up. How would you, as Cook County Board President, address the water crisis in the Southland, knowing that we see they've got a failing infrastructure, the city of Chicago is still running the tab on them? How do we get them fixed out of that space?
So, it seems like these black poor towns, it seems like black people in general throughout Cook County are catching hell. I mean, when you look at, healthcare issues in terms of health disparities, I mean, African Americans are disproportionately impacted by heart disease, high blood pressure, cancer, all of these things. And what bothers me, Mays, and of course the unfair property tax situation where, I mean, for years this lady protected Joe Barrios as he unfairly assessed black and brown communities. There was a report that came out that said he was unfairly assessing these communities and causing these people to pay more. I've visited the Southland and I've talked to people in Flossmoor and other places, and they're paying more in property taxes than they're paying in their mortgage a year. That is unconscionable. It is not right. Now, what bothers me, Mays, is that you got black people who are in charge at every level of government. You have an expanded black caucus in the legislature with more power, but black people are still dying faster than anybody else. So let me tell you this. This is a big issue. If you live in Inglewood or you live in Austin, your life expectancy is 30 years less than somebody who lives in Streeterville or in the
same city too.
Same city.
Same
downtown.
county.
Yeah. And so there's a 30-year life expectancy just based on where your zip code is and where you live. That should not be. So what are we going to do for the Southland? We're going to coordinate with the federal government, the state government, the local government, county government, and we're going to bring resources to bear. We're going to make sure those communities that are on well water, that we get them off well water. We're going to make sure that the infrastructure, that we change out those pipes and get new pipes in. We're going to do everything we can to put investments in these communities that have been just seriously disinvested in over the last 30 years, 40 years.
Attorney Boykin, this going to come off harsh, but I'm going to do it anyway. Are you a Democratic traitor? You laugh, but it is a known fact that the attack against you is that you supported Mark Kirk.
Yeah.
And that you have challenged Democratic authority throughout your career. But oftentimes for our people, the moment that they say you sided with a Republican, they say you were with whoever else, it automatically brands you in a space that makes you a Democratic traitor. I haven't seen very many black people who have done well besides a core group of people under Tony Preckwinkle, Madam President Tony Preckwinkle. We've seen black people kind of slide off the economic cliff. And then if we even try to look at something else or even try to build relationships that are not approved, you get branded a traitor. Talk to me about because they're going to talk about it. I got a feeling they're going to be like, Richard Boykin, duh, he was a Republican. Duh, he hung out with the da-da-das. Bah, Richard Boykin is against black people. And our people tend to eat that stuff up sometimes. Talk to me about that. And talk to me about, do black people, like when we're not presented with a choice, what is our choice? Because look at where we are right now.
We're in a bad situation. We're in bad shape as a people, but the county's in bad shape too. Look, I grew up in Inglewood. I went to Chicago Vocational High School. When I was growing up, we were on welfare, public assistance. I would see my mom pull out that food stamp book and pay for groceries with food stamps. I didn't get it at the time, but I understand it now.
Is that why you talk white?
I don't talk white.
I don't talk white. Pardon me. Whatever do you mean? Look, he like, ha, 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 ha. Whatever do you mean I don't talk white? So how does a kid from Inglewood, right, who grows up in Inglewood, makes a success of himself, goes on to be an attorney, and I'm telling you a story, but I'm going to let you come back to that, goes on to be an attorney, then goes on to be the chief of staff of a congressman, that then goes on to become a high-powered lobbyist. I know that's like a bad thing right now, but if we don't have any black lobbyists, we wind up getting zero. We don't get 20, we don't get 5, we get 0. to then coming back to your community as a community servant, because you ran and won as Cook County Board President, and then after you challenged the pop tax that all of us was against, they sent the kitchen sink against you. How did you, a kid from Inglewood, become a Democratic sellout?
Well, I'm not. Let me tell you, the Democratic sellouts are the ones who push policies that punish people, that hurt our community. And that's what people have to understand. If government exists to help people, and county government exists to help the poorest of the poor, well, this county board president pushed regressive taxes to hurt poor people. Regressive taxes hurt poor people.
She was saving us, man. She was saving us from diabetes because we don't know how to pick our food, what to eat.
Well, she said that after the fact, after she said initially she wanted $200 million for the budget. So,
and didn't she tell us that the county would fail without that $200 million?
She did, but the county's still going along strong.
Go ahead.
And now the reality of it is this. She pushed that regressive soda tax. She made us the highest sales tax in the United States of America, which is a regressive tax. And so people who are poor and can't go to other counties like DuPage or Will or Indiana or Lake to get their products, they're forced to get them here in Cook County. But they push these policies that hurt people. And then, get this. So she allows the effort to defund the sheriff's police at the county board. It sends the wrong signal. And she cuts the sheriff's budget by 4% and sends money to social programs. I'm all for social programs. I support mental health, strengthening our mental health system. I support all the other social programs, but the reality is they have to have a separate line item. You can't rob from Peter to pay Paul. Because at the end of the day, the sheriffs then get demoralized. And they say, well, we're not going to do anything to help make things better in the community because these people don't care about us. And they send the wrong message. So she's had a 12-year run of basically doing all she can do. And what she's done has hurt people. It hasn't lifted up people. It hasn't lifted our communities. She's got a big budget, like you said, but she hasn't used that budget in a positive way to empower people. I want to empower people. I want communities to rise up. And I think a rising tide lifts all boats. The reality of it is that we'll bring a breath of fresh air, new leadership, new ideas, new vision, and vision that will include the people and put the people first and not put the party first.
I heard that one somewhere before. I ain't going to say where I heard it, but I'm going to let it ride. This is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm going to start. Y'all going to have to start giving me some. Y'all going to have to be like hashtag Meg said. But it's okay. I'm going to let it ride because I like you, man. Look, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. We got attorney Richard Boykin. He is running, former Cook County board member, attorney Boykin. So don't ask the question because he's been there, right? And spoke up and paid the price. See, the problem is we got this amen corner that the second somebody throws something in the universe, they be like, oh, never mind. Attorney Boykin. Then they be like, he voted for Mark Kirk. Oh, damn. And I'm just trying to figure out how do we get our people to a place where they understand the game. When we come back, though, Attorney Boykin, I got some foundational questions to ask you. I want to know what's in it for the black people, but I also got a question about this undocumented immigrant. And somebody said you said all lives matter. So I got a lot of other questions we got to ask about this in this space. But look, y'all, it is attorney Richard Boykin. I think I'm about to go charcuterie. Have me a charcuterie break while y'all listen to these commercials. And don't forget to vote for our local school council members. Shout out to my man, Devin Gordine, and shout out to Ruthie Moore. Both of them are running for their local school councils. So y'all get out and support them today. It's practice, y'all. It's practice. The world is changing. And I just got to tell y'all, some changes going on. Change going to come. I don't know when, but I plan to be here for it, and I plan to be a part of it. So let's talk about it some more when we come back. I'm your man, Mace Jackson. I got attorney Richard Boykin in the building, and we'll be back after these messages.
The Mace Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTBP. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Serving on a local school council provides a unique opportunity to become engaged in your community and play an active role in policy decisions affecting your school. LSCs are critical to ensuring positive student outcomes and a dynamic school environment. Local school council members are elected every 2 years by parents, community members, and school staff.
Chicago Public School local school councils elections are coming up. Wednesday, April 20th are elementary school elections, and Thursday, April 21st are high school elections. Don't forget to cast your votes on April 20th for elementary school candidates and April 21st for high school candidates.
These LSC elections are the epitome of local politics. It is so important for us to pay attention to what is happening to these schools in our communities.
On Wednesday, April 20th, vote for Ruthie Moore for Arthur Ashe Elementary School. Vote for my daddy, Devin Gordine, for Woodline Community School.
Let's go vote for our children.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. But won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over Well, sometimes
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man in the studio with his fuchsia. Is it fuchsia or is it salmon?
I don't know.
All right, man. I was like, he came in, he saw the colors in the studio and was like, I'm going to add. Actually, we got your color right there on the wall by the Jordan gym shoe. It is the Maze Jackson Show in the building. We got attorney Richard Boykin. I also want to send a big shout out to my man, Harold E.K. Williams, stalker extraordinaire. And I don't say that in a bad way. I say that to know that you have a dedicated volunteer who would not take. First of all, Attorney Boykin, I be feeling a certain way when you be having your people call me. Right. You be like, I'm gonna have my people take care. Hey, homie, you know me. Don't get fancy now. See, that's what happened, right? They get to running for county board president. They start wearing fuchsia sweaters, and then all of a sudden they don't know your number no more. Then you're getting called by the people. Now, luckily, because I know Harold is a CVS Cavalier.
So am I.
Are you want to? Y'all lost the contest though. Y'all lost to Lindblom, just so y'all know, in the high school challenge. But y'all dedicated volunteers. So I'm gonna tell you, Attorney Boykin, I was feeling the kind of way but then I realized it was Harold.
Right.
Then Melanie hit me. Then somebody else hit me and was like, "Oh, Tiger hit me," and I was like, "This man know my number," but it's okay because I know you got people. See, one of the things that happens on campaigns is everybody wants to help, and then they want to feel like they don't recognize that there's different people. It don't mean you less important. Right. It just means that they're working all the time, and so they want their person to reach out to you. So I was like, it's all good. You always got a platform, and as we get closer, you come on back and make sure that you let us know. But I also want to be on that ad budget, but that's a whole nother story.
Let's do it.
Attorney Boykin. So before we left, I said, are you a Democratic sellout? And you pointed out something that was pretty interesting to me, which is, and this goes to my point of black people don't have a choice. So Alexi had the opportunity to endorse a Republican, and the Cook County Democratic Party still supported him. I'm going to let that sit in a box. Right? I'm not going to make any judgment on that because I believe that there are times when you got to make a choice. Mm-hmm. And the choice that you make is based on your interest, etc. But it does not seem like the rules are the same for black people because when you endorsed someone who actually impacted your livelihood because you were a lobbyist in DC as a private citizen, they are now using that to call you a Democratic sellout. Why is it different? Why are black people held to a different standard in the same party, even by black people?
That gets me. I mean, I'm concerned about, the policies that these folks are pushing. Back in 2010, when I endorsed, then Congressman Mark Kirk, for the Senate, he and I worked together on Capitol Hill. He was a staffer, and I was a staffer at the same time.
Oh, y'all was staffers.
We were staffers.
So y'all knew each other. Y'all had
Absolutely.
a pre-existing relationship.
Absolutely.
When Danny Davis was running around, y'all was running around, bumping in the halls like, "Hey man, this dude got me going to get coffee. You too?
Yeah.
Dag nabbit, this dude." Go ahead. So tell me the story.
So and we were friends. And at the end of the day, I was a private citizen. And I think that when you look at policies and when you look at what people stand for and what they're going to push, that's what you got to go with. I mean, I'm a Democrat, it's true, but I'm not going to support all Democrat candidates.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking because they supported the speaker and all these people that we are now finding out were running a criminal enterprise. And no accountability for any of that.
Look, am I going to support people that for 30 years, there are parts of the west side of Chicago that haven't been rebuilt from the riots of 68? I mean, they just haven't been rebuilt. But it's been all Democrats in charge. And you have to ask yourself, and a lot of money has flowed through those folks' hands. Why is it that our communities get treated worse? Why is it that when you have red light cameras and speed cameras, most of them are in black and brown communities? Why is that? I mean, why is it that black folks are paying the bulk of these red light camera tickets? And by the way, in unincorporated Cook County, I would ban red light cameras and speed cameras.
Goodness gracious. Then we're going to have to get pulled over by the police in unincorporated. Have you ever been pulled over by an unincorporated police officer in Cook County? I'm just telling you. I'm not trying to be funny, but I would rather get the ticket in the mail than, you know what side, how fast you were going? Do you know, did you see you missed that red light? Officer, I stopped, I rolled back. Step on out the car. I smell burnt cannabis.
Actually, the sheriff's police do a good job of policing unincorporated Cook County.
Okay, well we gonna that's one we gonna come back to, because I just tell you, having been in like say Stone Park, just send me the ticket. Just send me the ticket. But I'm gonna let that be for right now. Attorney Boykin, how do you win this race, man? How much money have you raised? Because I did see this, and let me throw it out there. I saw in the paper, hit job. Hit job. I've been watching. So I'm just letting y'all know, pay attention to all the hit jobs. But I noticed that they tied you. First of all, I've seen you with Reverend Dr. Willie Wilson. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Dr. Willie Wilson, because a lot of black people have been told to stay away from Dr. Willie Wilson because he could be bad for your election. Tell me about your relationship with Dr. Willie Wilson.
Well, I've known Dr. Wilson now for over 30 years.
Okay.
He's a good man, a good leader, a good friend. And I happen to also be his personal attorney. And so I, and I applaud him for the money that he's actually given away. But he didn't just start doing this yesterday. I mean, he's been doing this for over 30 years. Here's a guy who has an American story, American dream story, from rags to riches. Somebody who has a 7th grade education, somebody who mopped floors at McDonald's and then grew to own 5 McDonald's restaurants, sold them, and opened up his medical supply business. What I love most about this man is that when the pandemic hit over 2 years ago, this man is the only one who had face masks. The city of Chicago didn't have them. The county of Cook, the president of county board, the health and hospital system didn't have them. The state didn't have them. What this man did is he gave away 30 million face masks to people. I mean, he gave it to firefighters. He gave it to police. He gave it to senior citizens, to churches, to you name it. He gave away free face masks to folks. And those face masks saved lives. They may have saved thousands of lives.
Why? So help me understand this. Why then, this is a peculiar thing to me. Why is it that it seems like Dr. Wilson has been I go back to Pat Quinn waiting for 2 hours to talk to Dr. Wilson in 2010. How does he go from the Dr. Wilson that every Democrat in the whole entire county used to be like sitting around waiting to get his attention, to get his contributions, etc., to now being ridiculed for... I feel like it's like Jesus. You ride in on Friday, on Palm Sunday, and then a week later they call him for Barabbas. Yeah. What does Dr. Wilson, just in my estimation, have to do to get the true respect he deserves? Or
he's getting it. Look, at the end of the day, Mays, and you know this, as somebody who speaks out, if you speak out, people aren't going to like it. If you lead, they aren't going to like it. But quite frankly, they'll talk about you whether you lead or you don't lead. If you're not doing anything, people still talk about you. And so they talked about Jesus Christ. They'll talk about him and the millions of dollars that he's given away to help bring hope to people's lives. Look, he's leading. He did the gas giveaway, and now everybody else wants to do it.
And they got the biggest and the baddest, and ain't nobody gave away $1 million, and now the mayor trying to give us our money back. Talk about with her name on the card.
So get this. I don't know anybody, black, white, blue, green, who's given away $2.2 million in free gas when gas prices are the highest in the nation. Right here, second highest Illinois gas tax in the nation, right here in Illinois.
Tell me, Attorney Boykin, how do you win this race? How much money you got in the bank? Oh, let me back up because I want to back up because I want to give you the opportunity to answer this question in a platform that will give you the opportunity to address it specifically. We saw that no sooner did you and Dr. Wilson, you worked with Dr. Wilson to give away the gas, and I don't think the president could she couldn't get the board to come up with a gas card like Tony did. Like Lori Lightfoot did with her name, but she still ain't getting by. Address the fact that the white media said that they reported that as soon as Dr. Wilson gave the money, then money flowed in from the gas stations. I'd like you to address it from your own perspective, even though it's so crazy to me that we like, no matter how we raise money, like we can't, like it's criminal. White boys be giving $2 million. Black folks use their own leverage and we get in trouble for it. But I'm not going to answer that for you. I want you to answer the question.
Well, in fairness to the white media, let me just say this. It was one story. That's it. One. The other folks didn't touch it,
right?
Because they knew it was garbage,
right?
And so at the end of
you
the
hear
day,
that, Tribune? That was Sun
day,
Times though for you, but Tribune for me. But go ahead.
At the end of the day, we did it with 48 gas stations, right? I think maybe 18 of them gave me a contribution, which is legal. They know I'm running for president of Cook County Board, and they know I got rid of the sugar tax. All these people have convenience stores. Their stores would have been impacted negatively because of that.
Because they don't make, just so y'all clear, the gas stations don't make money off the gas.
Right.
They make money off of you leaving the car, coming in, and they count it by the minute. Right? They say how many, so they count the candy bar, they count the whatever. That's why they pack so compactly. But go ahead.
And so they also know that I'm going to be fair and transparent and push for a transparent position on taxes. Look, I want to hold the line on taxes. I think raising taxes on people shouldn't happen. I mean, we should figure out how we grow our county, how we grow our business base, how we put people to work and have more taxpayers, and that way it lessens the burden on all of us. And so these folks said, you know, we want to support you. We want to help you. We want to help you win. You'd be better for us than the current board president. And so I agree with that. Look, if there was a issue, I mean, if there was a requirement to participate, all 48 would have given me a contribution.
Let me ask you another question. Is it possible for a black candidate to get campaign contributions without being bought? Because I think that one of the funniest things I see is that white people have like millions in their campaign accounts with a second job, right? Black people try to raise any money and there has to be a corruption tied to it, or there has to be something negative to it. Like, how do we succeed? How does a person like you really get a fair crack in the earned media space?
So this lady has been so bad that the media will cover it. We're going to call for a number of debates.
Okay.
I mean, public. You ought to call for one right here on your show.
Now you know
and
that
I'll be here. I'll show up.
Okay, so you might be debating me.
No, you should invite her.
Okay, I'm definitely going to invite her. She came because she came. So she dumped on me all for a whole bunch of years. Then she stepped out into the mayor's race and was getting mollywopped. Then she came in. Then everybody change up. Like the problem is Attorney Boykin, and this is why I have a challenge. Everybody wants to answer or be on what's in it for the black people when they in trouble. Mm-hmm. But where have we seen them at any other point? Like, so it's been 4 years. How do we hold our black elected officials accountable? And how can we hold you accountable if you become the next county board president?
The way you hold them accountable is that, you look at what they promised and you look at what they delivered. You look at what's happening in your community. And if things are changing for the better, or if things are getting worse. And so that's accountability at the end of the day. And when I was a county commissioner, I held more town hall meetings than anybody else. And I also want to put this out there for your folks. I showed up. I mean, I had the second best attendance record on the county board. John Daly and I had the best attendance records in a 4-year period. And so when you show up, chances are you're going to soak some of that stuff in and represent the folks. But that's the way you hold people accountable, by going to vote, by getting out there and organizing and voting. You ask how we're going to win the election? We're going to win it by getting more votes than the other folks running, and we're going to win it by having a movement of people. People want help. They want somebody that they can believe in. They don't trust this government. The current board president ran in the 1990s as a reformer against the Democratic machine in the 90s. And now, today, she's become the leader of that very machine that she ran against.
But she's still paying people to get signatures, so it ain't the same machine. That's so we clear. Because I think that somebody, like, if I was a Democrat and I was listening or paying attention to this, I would be thinking, like, are we going to take the train all the way off the cliff? Or should she preside over the complete demise of the Democratic Party of Cook County? Because I'm going to tell y'all looking down the barrel of a gun. And so, Attorney Boykin, I know we only got a few minutes left. I got to ask you the key questions. First question. Do you support the right of undocumented immigrants to vote in municipal elections?
I support the Constitution of the United States of America.
You've been listening. See that?
I'm a lawyer.
Okay.
I'm an attorney of the bar.
Okay.
And so I'm going to support the Constitution of the United States of America.
Okay, I'm going to honor that.
And you got to be legal.
Did you say legal? You around here? You around here stepping on some sacred cows? You talk about legal. No human being is not. No human being is illegal, but it's illegal for them to vote. Next, what's in it for the black people if we decide to get behind Attorney Richard Boykin for Cook County Board President?
Look, I think you're going to have a new era of leadership, one where people can trust what we say. We're going to do it. One where we're going to have safer streets, safer neighborhoods, and we're going to have a more affordable Cook County. Last year, 90,000 people left Cook County, according to the Census Bureau. And they left for whatever reason, but that's 90,000 people. That's taxpayers leaving Cook County. That means that more of us have to pay all these onerous, ridiculous, regressive taxes.
Speaking of taxes, there is another race going on. In my mind, probably the most important race, maybe not to you. But we have seen, this administration that is led by Tony Preckwinkle right now preside over the largest mass exodus of black people out of Illinois. This was the black Mecca. And it used to be the story that, all right, they moved from the city, but they in the suburbs. Well, now they're leaving the suburbs. Mm-hmm. I was watching Yellowstone the other day, and they were saying that one of the tricks of the devil, or the assessor, whichever you call it, is to inflate the property taxes to a point where the people who live there cannot afford to live on the land and then reoccupy that land. I know you've been seeing the stuff that's been going on in the press. There's been a big fight between the Board of Review, the current assessor. The current assessor just said that the whole thing is really the president's fault as it relates to getting the property tax bills out late, which is potentially going to impact the schools being able to be funded, the pensions to be funded, and all of the things that matter. What, Attorney Boykin, first, I'm going to ask you who you supporting for assessor, but then I'm going to ask you, how can you, and if you were elected, how could you work with the assessor to at least provide some relief to the black folks? We know that the property tax system is broken, but at the same time, it seems like the Wilmette people are still doing good, and the Southland is still sliding down the slope. How do those two jive?
So this whole issue about the tax bills coming out late, it falls at the feet of the president of the county board and the county board itself. Look, the county board's responsible for making sure that those tax bills get out on time. When I served from 2014 to 18, the number one issue that people would ask from the Board of Review or from the assessor's office, we would ask them, is, are the tax bills going out on time? If we decided to cut their budget or said you got to cut your budget by 2% or something like that, they would say to us immediately, well, if you do that, we can't get the tax bills out on time. That's what their response would be. And so the president of the board must show leadership. She must collaborate with the assessor and with the Board of Review and make sure that they have everything that they need. The technology. We spent $40 million on new technology when I was on the board.
And it don't work!
Well, we spent $40 million.
Well, did she say anything about it? Because
no, she hasn't said a word about it. But we're going to call her out on it, and you should call her out on it. And
see, then be getting me in trouble again. Go ahead.
But the listening audience should hold her accountable and say, "What happened to that $40 million?
$40 million?
Yes, that was supposed to make the assessment system transparent and fair.
They ain't answered nothing. They ain't answering no questions.
$40 million. When I was on the board, they came to us and asked for that money, and we did it as a board. And so, but she hasn't collaborated with those folks, and she hasn't shown leadership. And so the bills are late. The buck stops with the president at the end of the day of Cook County. It doesn't stop with the assessor and with the board of review.
That's why she's not talking about it right now.
They can point fingers, but at the end of the day, it's on her shoulders. It's on her watch. And this is not the only thing where she's shown failed leadership.
All right, y'all. That is Richard Boykin. Did you answer what's in it for the black people? Oh, I think
everything.
You in it for the black people.
Let me say this. It's time out for black faces in high places. We got to make sure that people are taking care of folks, that people are lifting up the least of these, the poorest of the poor. And I will tell you this, help is on the way. We're going to bring a new era of leadership that will be based on hope, that will be based on work, that will be based on listening to the people, respecting the people, and most of all, working for the people.
Hey, y'all. With that in mind, I'm going to close, but I'm going to tell you to look at that camera number 2, and tell the people why they should vote for you, how they can find out more information, and whatever one other thing you want them to know.
Well, let me first of all thank you, Mays Jackson, for having me on the show. You're a good friend, you're a good man, and I want to come back as many times as you'll have me and encourage debates. Look, I want to sit across the table from the current board president. There are tough questions that she needs to answer. But I am running for Cook County Board President because gun violence, carjackings, retail thefts, all of these things have combined to terrorize our neighborhoods. People are dying in the streets, especially our children, and families are not getting justice. Support me for Cook County Board President because I'm going to make sure that our neighborhoods are safer. I'm going to make sure that they're affordable. We're going to deal with the unfair property tax situation. We're going to deal with these high taxes, regressive taxes, and we're going to work and respect our mayors throughout Cook County. We're going to respect the people that we represent, and I promise you this, I will listen to you, respect you, and most of all, work my heart out for you. Thank you.
What's your website?
It's Richard Boykin for CookCounty.com. Richard Boykin for CookCounty.com.
Hey, y'all. That is Attorney Richard Boykin. He is running for Cook County Board President. Attorney Boykin, we haven't made a selection yet. We haven't made an endorsement, but we definitely want to hear more from you, and we definitely want to try and get that debate because I think the president will employ the Rose Garden strategy and avoid all conversation. But I do think that black folks, we have a unique opportunity this election cycle to impact the game in a way that is not, because I don't know if you're ever going to find a time when the party has been this weak, when they are so fractured, they are so, like, we literally have state representatives who are not making the ballot. Y'all, if there was ever a time for us to galvanize our forces, and I know everybody want to go this way, that way, this way, that way, and we might not get them all. But I do think that we can send a message that reverberates throughout the city and the county. We oftentimes look for a reason to denigrate our own as compared to saying, is this an opportunity for us to raise ourselves up? Attorney Boykin, I admire your independence as well as your loyalty, because it's kind of funny that at the same time that they calling you a sellout, you've been Danny Davis's right-hand man. And let me just say this, because I know we give Danny Davis some the business sometimes, right? And I know in our universe, and I'm a little disappointed in him for supporting this clown, based on the fact that he has been a family friend of my wife's family forever, and the fact that he is supporting this clown really, really, really is disconcerting. But I'm gonna let that go. the thing I want you all to see with Attorney Boykin, and it's very similar to kind of the story that they tried to portray in the paper last week for me. Attorney Boykin, intelligent man, humbles himself to become the servant of a public servant. Works for that public servant on the Capitol Hill, where he develops the relationships that allow him to meet other congressmen, meet other people, allows him to flow in and out of the doors of the Congress that we watch on TV that is very, very far away from us, but it becomes a very small place once you're in part of it. Said young man works for the congressman, goes to college, completes his law degree, becomes of stature, becomes chief of staff of a senior member, and then after being chief of staff, instead of being selfish and saying stay here for the rest of your life and never go out and go into the world, I say I'm going to do myself a disservice, because now you know where all the bodies are buried, you know where everything is, and it would be much better for me to keep you with me, because then I don't have to retrain nobody and I can just keep the pipeline. I say, young man, you have done your service. Go forth, reap the benefits of your relationships, go out and make money. But don't forget where we came from. Don't forget, even as you get on those private jets, as you are now dealing with people, as you are having these conversations and dealing in these highest halls of power, you're not going to win because you're still a Negro in that space. But you are now one of our voices in the space where we don't very rarely have a space. And I'm going to tell you that a lot of people, even electeds, don't even know that this world exists. And I got to give Danny Davis the props of launching you into that stratosphere, right? Into that space. It's a world where there's 12 black people for the whole country. And I think we can always find the fault. But I want you to also recognize that there's a lot of opportunities that we don't even know exist because we ain't even invited into the room to tell you to go get it. And Attorney Boykin has had that opportunity. So I must, as much smack as I talk about, and I know we be like, here's the voice of God. But Danny Davis, Congressman Danny Davis, did what he's supposed to do. And quite frankly, when you look at Nikki, when you look at Tamia, when you look at all those people that then are in the pipeline to, when he leaves, be able to go off and earn and make themselves, y'all, that's like the political kind of sort of end game if you ain't going to be an elected official. So many things that our people just don't understand about this game that I feel like is important for us to do. And so, Attorney Boykin, oftentimes I give you the business, but it's like we often say as local lobbyists, like you add a zero, right? So like you got the zero, and like all of us are aspiring to get to that extra zero. So it's great to know that even after you got to that extra zero, you still, because y'all know he could just be rich, right? I'm just telling y'all. I'm not trying to be funny. High-powered attorney, lobbyist, can walk through the Capitol anytime he wants to, can go see in that Mark Kirk relationship is all of the people that you see on TV. So I just got to make sure y'all understand the process. Attorney Boykin, thank you for coming in today. And this is how you know he is in that stratosphere, because he came up in here with some charcuterie. Y'all saw me come in here. They had the seasoned pretzels with the cheese. I was like, what cut of cheese is this? Right? They had 3 varieties of cheese. Plus, they brought us orange juice, lemonade, and look, they brought the good kind. They ain't bring us like no box. They brought the Simply. But let me just say this, Attorney Boykin. I just appreciate you coming in. Hey, man, I understand the challenges that go with being in this fight, especially from the position that you're fighting from, right? Which is, it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. You stand for the people and they say you didn't stand up long enough. You stand for the people and you fight for the pop tax and they say, yeah, but he wore a fuchsia sweater. But you keep on fighting. Attorney Boykin, your work has not gone unnoticed, brother. Thank you for everything you've done, and I look forward to this battle royale. And we got to get a coordinated campaign or something. Well, get all of this stuff coordinated so that all the black folks are singing out the same hymn book. Because we might not have the same money, but I definitely believe we got the same power, if not more. It is the Maze Jackson Show. Attorney Richard Boykin, we'll be having you back before we get into the window. So thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, man. Riis, let's take this out. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Serving on a local school council provides a unique opportunity to become engaged in your community and play an active role in policy decisions affecting your school. LSCs are critical to ensuring positive student outcomes in a dynamic school environment. Local school council members are elected every 2 years by parents, community members, and school staff.
Chicago Public School local school councils elections are coming up. Wednesday, April 20th are elementary school elections, and Thursday, April 21st are high school elections. Don't forget to cast your votes on April 20th for elementary school candidates and April 21st for high school candidates.
These LSC elections are the epitome of local politics. It is so important for us to pay attention to what is happening to these schools in our communities.
On Wednesday, April 20th, vote for Ruthie Moore for Arthur Ashe Elementary School. Vote for my daddy, Devin Boykin, for Woodline Community School.
Let's go vote for our children.
Yeah, Ruthie Mo, Riis the ruler, Maze Jackson. This is the reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding. So go on, make my payments high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Look, and check it out. First drug lord was President Nixon. Oval Office was the trap house where he was tipping. Got the drugs from Nicaragua and gave us crack. Declared war on blacks. Man, tell him to cut the check and tried to make it seem like a revolution. CIA was the corner boys for distribution. We could tear this country in half for retribution. But I'd rather get some restitution, so tell him to cut the check. John Singleton, man, he already told y'all. He broke it down for you when he made Snowfall. They locked us all up and created whole laws. So send a message like a cold call. Tell them to cut the check. Look, we built this city. We built this city. Back, put this country together and gave him hella aid. Lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Over 400 years. Been punching the clock, but yeah, we still ain't got paid. Look, they paying the immigrants. They paid the Jews. Executive orders, man, they made the rules. I want my 40 acres, you can save the mule. Cause as of right now, we getting played for the fool. Look, forced sterilization, Tuskegee experiment, Rosewood, Japanese internment. Come on, was all paid out from the government. We waiting on our turn, we definitely earned it. So make my payment high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no stimulus checks, just run the bread, make it high. Yeah, Ruthie Mo, Riis the ruler, Maze Jackson. This is the reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that.
We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Lenders give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mace Jackson Show. I got paid trolls and I got earned trolls. So I don't know if y'all have been paying attention in the chat, but it's clear that we have been targeted by Cousin Riis and his love for the slave commercial. That JB has clearly dispatched trolls to our broadcast every morning. I keep blocking them and they keep coming up with these. And I'm gonna tell y'all know this is it's a thing, right? So you pay people to come and troll the you dig, right? So now you got Dr. Ganja, right? You got all of these people that are paid as trolls to come in and disrupt the conversation. Then I got the trolls that don't be thinking I be trolled. They trolls. You know what I mean? The ones that be like, I told you, I said I don't play two ends to the middle. Right? I don't do it. So, look, see? Y'all see the, Riis, you see what you done did? Now, I would just say, JB, why don't you just pay us instead of paying the trolls? Right? Oh, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. All right, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. I think that should also tell you how influential we are. Because they really don't want these conversations going on. I'm going to have to pay somebody to be troll catcher. And you know they don't be having no page, no profile, no nothing. And I just want to make this straight up. Real quick, and then I'm going to move on because I'm not going to be petty. Ruthie and Tanil, talk to me. You are more than welcome to have whatever opinion, share whatever conversation you want to share, right? But please, do me a solid. Don't be acting like you ain't who you are. Right? Like I kind of stay in my own space, and I got people that. So I just want to be clear, right? You ain't gotta like me. You ain't gotta like my style. You may feel whatever you want to feel, but keep it where you keep it. Keep the same energy. I'm all good with that. But I don't do the whole sit in my face and then I just don't. So, I'm just going to be clear about that. Like, don't fuck with me in the daytime and then fuck me at night or in the afternoon. Right? Real simple. I mind my business, I stay in it. But I gotta be clear. Like, don't hit me with the sucker shit. I be minding my business. I stay right here in my space. I don't go nowhere else. I don't go nowhere everybody else. Like, so if you was somewhere else talking crazy, don't come home acting like, what you mean? Who with me? Because I just don't do it. And it's like, please don't put me in a position where I got to call it out. Just fade. Just fade. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Hey, Riis. So we had attorney Richard Boykin on the show, man. Attorney Boykin is down with our good friend, Dr. Wilson. Riis, have you seen what your girl, the mayor, done pulled? I gotta ask you. I tried to show it to you earlier. Riis, have you seen the mayor's gas program? Have you seen it? In case you haven't, here's what I'm gonna do. Woo! Riis, you see that? The mayor is now, she done went to a gas card instead of, because she wanted to outdo Willie Wilson. Right? Riis, the mayor is giving people a credit card. Devin, you ain't missed nothing. You ain't missed nothing. If you watched it, if you saw it, if you participated in it and you playing like you didn't, or you be bad about it, but don't be over here talking about what's up. That's all I'm saying. Don't make me do it. Hey, y'all, the mayor is planning to release the Chicago gas card. Riis, I feel a certain kind of way because she kind of dogged Willie Wilson for his gas giveaway. Now she want to have a credit card, Riis. Riis, she want to release the Mayor Lori Lightfoot, the Chicago Moves gas card. And she wants to put her name on it. Riis, you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of when Donald Trump was going to send out them stimulus checks and everybody got mad because he wanted to sign them. Is this right? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. First of all, are you trying to get the mayor's gas card? I don't even know if she's going to be able to get it passed, Riis. But she putting a $150 gas card and carrying it in their pockets. Now, there's a lot of outrage. The media is going crazy. And, Riis, I can't lie. I don't know that I feel like it's all good for the mayor to print a credit card, a gas card, with her name on it, with taxpayer dollars. This to me, Riis, is an election thing. Do you think the mayor should be able to put her name on it, on our tax dollars, and give them back to us? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. What's up, caller? You on the Maze Jackson Show?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Who there?
This is a first time caller. This is Ruthie checking in.
Ruthie,
good morning.
All right. right, it is Ruthie Moore, first time caller. Look, what you doing calling? Ain't you supposed to be on the campaign trail? Don't we got to get out there and volunteer? Ain't you running for school board today?
Yes, you know what? No, speak that one, but local school council. That's why I'm calling in, Maze, to let everybody know how they can vote in a local school council.
So tell us, how can they vote?
So I know y'all probably heard the commercial, but I got a call this morning and somebody said, but you didn't tell people how they could vote. So voting in local school council, it requires, if you are a community voter, you do need 2 forms of acceptable identification: a driver's license, state ID, your voter's registration card. You can use a public library card, a lease, a utility bill, a credit card, an employment ID, something like that, right? So you need 2 of those. Now, if you are a parent and you have a young person that attends a school and you are trying to vote, you need one of those forms of ID. I just said a driver's license, a voter ID, a utility bill. But you also have to prove that your young person attends that school. So you need a report card, a birth certificate, some court documents, etc. And if you don't have any of that, when you go up to the school to vote, ask them to check the student alpha list, and it should have your name on it if you have a young person that attends that school. So kind of complicated, right, Maze? They don't make it easier to vote in local school council elections, do they?
All they need to know is they better vote for Ruthie. That's what they better know. They better vote for Ruthie. They better vote for... Now, Ruthie, when is your... are you campaigning today?
Of course I am.
So Ruthie,
knock on your door.
So where is it, and how can people come volunteer to help you? We got you, we got Devin, and we got Lori Westerfield. Are you passing out flyers when people come in? What you doing, kid? I'm a little offended that you ain't called me about the campaign plan.
Well, you know what? So, local school council is really like within your attendance boundaries. So it's just really a few blocks, right? So I'm just gonna hit a few blocks, knock on a few doors, and encourage people to vote. But more than anything, maybe I got to tell people how to vote, because the average everyday person is not carrying around a utility bill, right?
Right.
So I just encourage everybody to figure out what school is within your boundaries. You can check out the CPS website and click on school locator, type in your address, and the elementary school and the high school that you can vote in today and tomorrow will pop up. So check it out, everybody.
All right, Ruthie. Now, are you gonna be outside? Where we gotta come to? What we gotta do? How can we help you outside? Do we need to donate or something? You need some campaign funds? Are you passing out? What you doing, girl? Do we need to get when I ran for local school council, I had a big old promotional truck, and they sat outside and was like, vote for Maze, vote for Maze. What we need to do for you, Ruthie?
See, I appreciate that. I appreciate all of the people that have offered to donate. I appreciate all the people that have volunteered their time. But, I sent home materials with the young people, and I made a few appearances already at the school. So I've been on the campaign trail. I really appreciate all the assistance that everybody has been offering me. And it really does give me hope to know that as I continue this journey of answering the call, to run for things, that people going to have my back. So I appreciate everybody so much. All the text messages, all the well wishes, and really people offered to donate. Now, I ain't trying to take no donations because I ain't filling out no forms, but I appreciate y'all so much.
Well, Ruthie, we are going to let us know when we can come by. Give me a text or let me know the address. Don't you be 420 and while you out there campaigning, but we can celebrate after. Ruthie, thank you for everything that you do. We super proud of you, and I appreciate you taking up the call. One of the things that I was going to say, and I think I saw John Scott saying it in the comments, is that often when there is a very involved local school council, then the school is doing well and the parents are involved. So, Ruthie, I appreciate you and I admire you as a non-parent getting involved in the school system. And it's just the first of many elections in your future, is my guess. So, look, let us know if there's anything we can do, and you can call us back if you want to do one more shameless plug. I'm going to make Riis play the commercial because everybody like, oh, that's so cute. Everybody want to help little Ruthie out. So, Ruthie, go forth and kick ass, or kick butt, excuse me. This is the Maze Jackson Show.
Thank you so much.
You're giving away free gas, Ruthie.
Oh, Ruthie, we should have told Dr. Wilson that you would have gave away free gas. He would. I got that girl, Ruthie. That's my girl. I can get her.
I appreciate it. I had to pay my niece for doing that commercial, and I'm sure Devin's daughter he got taxed too, but they cost me $30, y'all.
$30. That's all right. You got to put it in the economy. It'll come back to you. Let's teach them babies how to win. You got some social graphics or something?
Maze, I went old school. I printed out the flyers and I posted up my campaign materials in the school. You know, this is my first campaign, y'all. Y'all know I ain't too keen on the whole my privacy thing, but I'm dipping my toe in the water before I jump all the way in there. But don't worry, it's in the works, Maze. I'm on the grind.
All right, that's my girl Ruthie Moore taking the charge seriously. Hey y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my girl Ruthie Moore was just called in. DJ Riis the Rule. Anybody else on that phone line? Let's give us a call. 872-259-7474. I want to talk about Richard Boykin. I want to talk about the mayor's cash card giveaway. Riis, you going to get you a card? Oh, you can't. You don't live in the city.
I don't live in Chicago.
You don't live in the city. What if they say, look, they
you know
I'm scared they might put a felony requiring. I might not be able to go get mine. They'd be like, I saw in the paper. I'll be like, but I ain't a felon.
I definitely ain't get one then. But listen, but nah. But I don't technically live in Chicago, but my IDs, I got a couple of IDs.
Riis, how much we getting these cars for? How many? I'm gonna do a contest to see how much. There's 150 on the car. I want to see how many we can collect.
That's $100. That's easy. I told you, that's $100 easy. They're gonna buy that. They're gonna sell it easily for $100. You would take that. Anybody would take it out. A 150 for $100, and then depending on where you at, some people go for half. It's free. It's free money.
75. Man. Volume over profit. Look, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We got anybody on that line? Give us a call. 872-259-7474. What's up, caller? How you feeling today?
Hey, good morning, Maze, and the entire show. This is Joseph Williams checking in with you guys one more time this week. Of course,
what's up, dog?
What's going on? So, of course, you guys are talking about LSCs. I've had the privilege to serve on the LSC at Beasley, for almost over 8 years, and serve at Lindblom. And now I'm serving on the LSC AP.
You got Beasley and Lindblom? Oh, Lord, boy, I know there was some competitive elections.
Our elections, I was just about to say, our elections was real. One thing I had to learn when I first ran. There you go.
When it's a good school. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Well, I was going to say when I first ran, I lost the election, and then I realized because I came with the passion, I wanted to make a difference. But you had folks who sat on the board. They had it together a little bit. They knew what they was doing. So I said, okay, I know what to do. The next time I ran again for that next election, I put together a slate. When I say I bought an entire team in and spiked off a team that had been on that for probably 10 years, we bought our own team in. And then that's when I really learned the power within the numbers. Because even when you get on that board, you can be a voice, but you need, majority of the time, you need 7 folks to get anything done. So you're going to have to either bow down at times to work with people for the betterment of the children, or you're going to have to get you more like-minded people who's thinking like you to get on that board to support the mission of changing these schools and building these schools up, because you deal with the budget. You can change the uniform if you wanted to. You deal with the principal contract. You're dealing with a lot of important things that help shape our schools. So just going to the fact of Ruthie, if you guys are going to vote for her and she's going for grammar school today, y'all guys get out there today, because it's grammar schools today and it's high schools tomorrow. And elections go from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and then I also say that now I have the privilege to serve on the LSC AB board, which is the local school council advisory board. And what that gives me the privilege to serve as a member is that I say one thing that I feel good about right now, and it is my first time serving on that board, is that since probably the 90s, if not a little bit before, they've never had a subcommittee on this board. So I've introduced to them a health and safety subcommittee to give parents, community, and members of the board a voice when it comes to issues around a safe and healthy to deal with our babies. So if it's dealing with COVID or schools is changing things, we shouldn't find out through the news or no emails. We need to bring these folks in to the table. So my first guess when I implemented this was bringing Dr. Awadi in, while parents and anybody could ask her questions, and she had to respond back and present and everything else. So it's building that transparency piece. So I got that recently. It just passed last month by a majority of the board. And now we're implementing what the board looks like for that subcommittee. So I think we're going to try to do at least 9 members. It's open to people who aren't part of the LSC. So anybody can join this particular committee as well. So anyway, I say all this to say is that it's important to get involved. I'm supporting all of those parents who are jumping up and going out there today And as you get on that board, just remember the long term is making sure we're doing what we got to do for our babies. Because a lot of times what they do and how they get a lot of new members and they put us on this board together. But then we end up getting on the board and we fight against each other. We're going to have to find a way to not do that so we can make progress. And not the LSCs just become messy and you don't get anything done the entire time you're on that server. So we got to find ways to work together. And just remember, it's for the children. I mean, Beasley, we got a multi-million-dollar playground in the back when we had dirt in the back there. We've changed a lot of things at Beasley and really have accomplished a lot. So I feel good about that. So that's all I just want to call in to say a little bit when we talk about these LSCs. That's something that I've done for a long time. And it's a free position, but it's also an elected position. That is through the Board of Elections. So you are a public official once you get seated on those LSC boards.
See?
But that's all I wanted to call in about, man.
Hey, Joe, change that battery, man. Change that battery. But I'm gonna tell you, man, that's my man Joe Williams. Joe, I'm telling y'all, it's like you and Willie are making me proud, man. I seen you guys out on the trip. You laughing, but y'all are. It's like to watch the maturity of young people who have been dedicated to, or who have decided that they wanted to be public servants and were not discouraged by not starting at the top. And the fact that you have taken this LSC and recognizing the value of it, brother, I recognize that. I appreciate it. And Joe, I see all the stuff you're doing, and we got to get with Ruthie after she wins. So y'all have to get me to read with them kids. Even though I don't want no book with no big words though, okay? Because I don't want them to be like,
we gonna keep it smooth. I got you.
A duck is a duck. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take your calls. The mayor's giving away a cash card. Riis, is she trying to buy our votes? How much has to be on the card to get you to vote for the mayor? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. How much money does the mayor have to put on the gas card for you to vote for her? If you knew that your vote was going to make her be the mayor again, how much she got to put on that card? Mr. Early Walker. Shout out to Early. We got the big Willies in the building. Hey, y'all, and I'm going to tell y'all better get on JB and his trolls, man. I'm really starting to get irritated with the trolls on the I guess I gotta not be irritated because that's what they doing. Because y'all, they don't want me to keep talking about the least offensive, right? Y'all, they don't like when Riis be playing that, and then they be like, which one of y'all is the least offensive? All right, it's the Maze Jackson Show. How much money does the mayor have to put on the gas card to make you vote for her? If you knew your vote was going to make her the mayor again, we'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Serving on a local school council provides a unique opportunity to become engaged in your community and play an active role in policy decisions affecting your school. LSCs are critical to ensuring positive student outcomes in a dynamic school environment. Local school council members are elected every 2 years by parents, community members, and school staff.
Chicago Public School local school councils elections are coming up. Wednesday, April 20th are elementary school elections, and Thursday, April 21st are high school elections. Don't forget to cast your votes on April 20th for elementary school candidates and April 21st for high school candidates.
These LSC elections are the epitome of local politics. It is so important for us to pay attention to what is happening to these schools in our communities.
On Wednesday, April 20th, vote for Ruthie Moore for Arthur Ashe Elementary School. Vote for my daddy, Devin Gordon, for Woodline Community School.
Let's go vote for our children.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breached security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture of make her look greater. But she disrespected the same country that she served, that makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history, all because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians, you know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country, you know they gon' tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed. To certain rights we are not granted. The media is the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narratives. Terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wildin' with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They're giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism. Terrorism.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I was thinking we was at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. I was like, all right, next come up is, but I guess I had that wrong. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Riis, how much the mayor got to put on the gas card to get you to vote? Jasmine said you could put $10 trillion on it. She gonna take the card, but she ain't voting for the mayor. Will this trick work? First of all, is this a response to Willie Wilson? Yes or no?
Of course.
You think so? She said she was doing it before Willie Wilson had it.
Why didn't it happen? You doing it before? How come you got to change some stuff now? If you already done it, this man finna do 3 before you do 1. You didn't change your plan. You all is like, who doing it? Of course it's a response to him. And she know how Chicago people is. She know that. She like, oh snap, it's election and I really ain't been doing nothing. He giving out gas. People will remember that. So yeah.
Do you think her name should go on all the gas cards? Or like if it's a city gas card, right? Should it say Chicago, Mayor Lori E. Lightfoot, Chicago moves?
I can see it.
I know you can see it, but should we be paying for her Okay, let me back up. Is this a campaign tactic?
Of course it is.
If it's a campaign tactic,
she gonna say it's not. Come on, you know they gonna maneuver it around and make it feel like it's not. But we know it is. We know it is. Because every time you put out that,
how do we not? Nah, Riis.
You know it is.
Nah, man. So this is what I want to know. Do you think people will see through it? Do you think people see through it? Do you think do they say you just doing this because of Dr. Willie Wilson? Or do you think people will just be like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread? I mean, they going to take the gas.
They going to take the card.
You going to apply for the card, though? Because you know you got to make sure your sticker's straight. You got to have your insurance. You got to be 100%. So they going to run you got to take your car through the hole you did.
That's cool. Like I said, I got some addresses, I put away. But yeah, I think some people will see through it, but the majority is going to take the gas, I
don't think you don't take the gas, but do you think it help? So do you think that this $150 will motivate black people to vote for Mayor Lightfoot?
Not at all.
You don't think so? You don't think people be like, man, Lori gave me that card? Because you keep the card in your pocket. You going to keep the card after it's burned up?
I'm going to say after 150, then what? After 150, do they reload
Then you
it?
put it to your city key. What if they say this is your new city key credit card? See, if I was the mayor, I'd get all y'all. I'd take everybody. I'd be like, this the city key. So I make this card be good after. Right? Use it for your Ventra card. Use it for your Metro card. Use it for your... And every time you be like, thanks, Mayor.
Yeah, see, now, there you go.
See, but she don't want that. They don't be talking to me.
And if she was to put 150 a week or something, or once a month, she might win a little, but that 150 one time, nah, man. Mm-mm.
So, I gotta ask you. She got the... So, with this card, does it make her Willie bigger than Willie's Willie? Because Willie put $2 million of his own money up. I feel like it's kind of crazy for the mayor to be doing this when Willie is like, and I feel like it's going to backfire because if she keep trying to match him, Riis, at some point, somebody going to be like, how much is this costing us? And what happened if you apply and you don't get it? Are you going to be mad you're going to vote against the mayor if you don't get one? Because everybody ain't eligible. You got to get in the lottery, Riis. What would you do if all the undocumented, what would you do if there was an undocumented, what if there was a set aside for the undocumented community? Like, should undocumented people get this gas? Should non-citizens of Chicago get the gas card? Yes or no? Give us a call. 872-259-7474. You going with the gas card? Is it enough to get you? How much does the mayor have to put on the gas card for you to vote for her? Riis, you going?
I mean, yeah, I'm probably going to give me a gas card. But, I'm going to wait, man. I'm going to go on the streets and find me one. I'm gonna wait, but I don't vote for it anyway. But it had to be like $1,000 or more. But I probably still wouldn't vote for it though.
How much does the mayor have to put on the card to get you to vote for it? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Do you think our people see it as a campaign trick, or will they be grateful? Like, Harold used to be like, take the money, but vote for me. You think people feel obligated to vote for the mayor, Riis?
Nah.
You don't think if you take the card, you don't feel like, I just took $150 from you?
Nah.
Or do you say it's my money anyway?
You said my money anyway. You ain't done nothing when it was snow on the ground. You be doing other stuff. No. You take that, man, but you do not vote for her.
Well, the undocumented can't. Do you think that that's an issue? Will you be bothered? What would you do, Riis, if you didn't get a card and you pulled up to the gas station and everybody else that wasn't your people got gas at the black gas station? It ain't a black gas station, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess my question becomes, is this enough? And I don't know that, they passed a law that said you can't put your name on stuff anymore. Like, how it used to be like when you came to Chicago, it'd be like, Rob Blagojevich welcomes you to Chicago. To Illinois. They took that stuff off at the state because they didn't want them to get props. I don't know that it's right that the mayor can send out this card with her name on it. If I'm an alderman, I want my name on it too then. Who should get their name on it? I don't know, man. So y'all just taking it, huh? Y'all gonna roll with the mayor. I'm not tripping because I think I'm gonna apply, Riis. I just got my city sticker. Did you know you can buy your city sticker for 2 years?
Yeah, it's since the pandemic I saw that.
Dog, they was like, that'll be $400. I was like, huh? Can I get the 1 month one?
The 1 month.
Because you also heard yesterday Lori Lightfoot said she was running again, essentially. She had a pre-campaign announcement. And she said that in her space, they said, Madam Mayor, how do you plan to run for mayor when you don't get along with people? And she said, I don't get along with people. Stop talking to me about that stuff. Hell you talk about? She said, you can't read, idiot. Don't you see? She said, how come nobody is talking? She said, she said that she blamed it on the media. And the fact that, what she did, Riis? She said she got to create our own narrative. So don't be surprised if the mayor starts to have a weekly show. Watch the mayor have a podcast. And she going to be talking. Y'all think Lori done? I don't think she done yet. Let me ask another question. Do you think she should get the casino? I've been on this. I really feel like this needs to become a campaign issue. I don't know that we should award the casino until after we elect the next mayor. Right? Like, does it make sense to place this casino when we've got a mayor that's has a less than 30% approval rating? So, Riis, if you know you on the way out the door You taking everything. Right? Like you trying to be like, let me cut every deal I can, because what I tell you, people try to pay for their job in advance. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. You taking the gas card? Do you think the mayor should have the ability to place this casino when we're only 10 months away from re-electing her? I think she should have to wait. I think she should not be able to use the casino as a tool. And let me just remind the aldermen out there that if they vote to support this casino, they may find themselves voting against the constituents, because remember, in this same election, Riis, it's a new map. So now, if you vote for the casino, but you don't know what your constituents that you're going to be representing are running, you're going to have somebody as an anti-casino opposition candidate running against you. Why put yourself in that position? You have only known your voters for 10 weeks before you start circulating petitions. So now, if you saw all that community participation at the meeting of people against it, and you don't know where they're coming from, why support a casino now? Why not wait until everybody's reelected and is safe for 4 years and has an opportunity? See, the mayor will make them walk the plank, Riis. She'll be out, and they'll find themselves being hung or having opponents just based on the fact that they were for the casino. Am I making sense here? Call you on the Maze Jackson Show. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. You taking the gas card, and should we pause the casino? Go ahead. What's up?
How you doing, Maze?
I'm all right. Who there?
What? It's Craig in Ashburn.
What's up, Craig in Ashburn?
Craig, how you doing, Maze? Maze, when you go through these type of programs, it's almost like they make you feel like you're applying for a loan or something. You have to give them so much information. Why don't they just give every tax-paying, water bill-paying citizen $150 off their water bill?
Oh, see, don't be starting that, Chris, because then the next thing that's gonna be next, she gonna give away the gas card, then she gonna give away $150 on you. She gonna give away everything she got. But I do think it's kind of crazy that you almost gotta prove yourself to get this card, even though you gotta pay for the gas. And then my other question is, do the undocumented have to prove themselves? Do they have to show a driver's license? Craig, you right, man.
I know. I don't have to prove myself when they send that water bill.
That is what I'm talking about. And I think it's kind of crazy that we got to be in a lottery competing against each other. So, Craig, let me ask a question. Are you going for this? I know you're going to go get the card, but do you think this is an effective tool for the mayor to win again?
No, because I heard a guy on the radio station yesterday say, if you vote for somebody because they're giving you a turkey or a gas card, you got a bigger problem in your life.
Dad, Craig, you said that. You're right. I appreciate that. Thank you, Craig from Ashburn. And you know you got to start showing up at the Black People First meeting. Al Evans, you got to get on Craig, man. He got to be there. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We got anybody else? That's it, Riis? All right. I don't know, man. Give us a call. Riis, what you think about $150 off your water bill?
And if I had it today, I give it to my cousin, see if he can trade that for something else.
That's a good one though. Like $150 off your water bill.
See, there you go, right there.
He said every taxpayer get $150 off their water bill if you pay a water bill. That, you know, in a lot of places, that's how they determine who's here, who lives in the town. They don't look at the voter roll; they look at the water bill. And basically, like if we was like Black People First, when the new water bill comes, we should send them a welcome to the neighborhood, join our team. All right, Riis. I also think the mayor should not be able to determine the casino. They're saying that the mayor said that if we don't accept the casino, that that the taxes are going to go up. Can I ask you a question? Are the taxes going to go up regardless?
Every time.
So, should the current mayor, get the ability to place the new casino, or should she have to wait until she's reelected so we can be sure. I just don't know that I trust a mayor that is taking Willie Wilson's gas giveaway. Saying his didn't count. Riis, she been trying to one-up Dr. Wilson since she got elected. Since he endorsed her and she threw him to the wolves after she got elected. She played him on the masks. She played him at every turn. Anytime he tried to help, she closed the churches. And now she done stole his gas giveaway. But she doing it for the bougie people. Riis, she doing it for the people who don't want to get in line waiting for that Willie Wilson gas. You too can put my name in your pocket. And every time you go to Riis, I'm telling you though, I don't know if she need to do it one time. I think if I'm the mayor, I make it a reloadable card. And every time you reload this card, we'll give you 50 cents off the reload. And she really want to win some people, she should have put some parking meter credits on that bad boy. Can I use that to pay for my parking meter? And you know what, Riis? I bet you with this, see, the reason she doing this is because the poor people gonna get in line. The rich people gonna get in and be like, why, thank you.
I just want to let you know she isn't finished doing this card. So now listen. In May, when she finally announces this card, and it's called a city card, and it can pay for your venture, and it can pay for your parking, and it can pay for that.
It could pay for your vote.
And I'm telling you, and when
y'all gonna forget everything.
When she do all that, just know where it came from. You keep giving us. She's like, "Oh, you right. We should. We can do that." So when you
now, I just want to point out. Do you think the city council is going to let this happen?
They got to let the gas giveaway happen for her. It's too critical of Willie Wilson in the campaign doing like they got like what are they doing to draw your attention to her right now? Tell me what has Lori Lightfoot done?
Man.
So when you really think about that, then you really think about when people look at the people that's running for mayor. Right now, probably Willie Wilson is, if you go to the polls now, a lot of people probably, his name is front. Like, oh, man, he just gave away gas, all that. So they have to, in order to, stay in the race, especially because she hasn't really done anything to, solidify herself.
Uh-oh. So I'm reading this comment from my dear friend. Shout out to Mr. The Ewing / Mrs. Early Williams, who said, what other mayor has received this much criticism? I've seen no one go this hard against a mayor until now. Please show me something different. As a media professional, I've yet to see the opposition against anyone before her. I would advise you to go back on the Mays Jackson page to whenever we'll back up. From the day Rahm started doing the Chicagoland series where he highlighted the violence and did the CNN, I have been on his ass. This platform has been on his ass since we have been here. So much so that I was banned from being able to interview, and we still talk. So much so that this platform is where we kicked off Black Friday and the shutdown, and it was based on Rahm Emanuel. I think that, but I will say, madam, and I'm saying this in the most respectful way, Tia, there's a different level of expectation by black people from a black mayor. I think that Lori Lightfoot walked into a place that has been dominated in the minds and hearts of black people by Harold Washington. And to walk in under that guise and then to go full on blast, turn up the bridges, lock them down, lecture us without a seamlessly compassionate. And I'll never forget the day when those black kids at the beginning of the pandemic was like, "Oh, you the mayor?" And she said, "Move along." And now we're hugging and kissing people. I really think that we have a 3.5 year record of the mayor being against everything but for black folks. And then you talk about the crime. And you talk about where we are and the pretending that it's not happening. I'm not going to say this mayor hasn't had one of the most challenging mayoralships in the history of mayoralships. But I do want to remind you that when it was time to determine who was going to lead the charge back, she hired Sam Skinner, George Bush's chief of staff. I will not, Riis, do me a favor real quick, because I think sometimes we forget. Pull up Anjanette. I think sometimes we forget, and it's like, I don't doubt that these things happened before, but I think that there is a special level of sensitivity that we expect. Play this, because I think sometimes we forget.
For killing Breonna Taylor. Rulings like this one set us back and come as yet another challenge to the hard work and progress we've already made. It means we fight even harder against the systems of inequality and injustice designed to keep too many of us down. We will and we must continue to say her name. We will and we must continue to
This is when
justice.
it's in Kentucky and it's popular on TV. And when she want to talk about
to prevent any more names from being added.
So she
to
invokes
this
these
world,
names. Pay attention.
Like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rekia Boyd,
who she defended, not defended.
Many others. I want you to know that I support you.
Okay,
and
now
do everything
remember,
in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast? And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video.
If you can forget this from a black woman, she felt nothing. I don't expect Ron to feel anything, and he would have acted for this.
Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not
she's a black woman.
I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter is handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Because COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this.
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
You have the wrong place. You got the wrong house. You got the wrong house.
We will and we must continue to say her name.
So this is funny because I got a husband and wife team going at it. Shout out to on the men team, brother Early Walker. Early, we got to get you in here. Why Sean be trying to hide out, man? He don't want you to come. He don't want the black superpowers to get together. All right, Sean, we see you. And then I got to go to Tia because she said, but are black people demanding a change in our neighborhoods? We should be pushing for change every single day. She had police all on Michigan Avenue and none in our communities and went on like it was just another day. Tia, I cannot agree with that. I think black people have been calling for additional police, calling for additional resources, etc. Remember the cop house that Anthony Beale was doing? Remember all of the aldermen that were saying that they wanted to have police? Remember when she hired her team to go against black people that were under assault? No, we cannot buy into the narrative that we don't want more. Who covers that we want more? Who cares that black people are in pain or in suffering? The stories of our neighborhoods seem as though we want carjackings. The reports are like, no, them people do stuff and then they come back and get sent back and live next door to us. So I think sometimes we got to be careful as we move forward. And I'm going to tell you, as citizens, we have the same rights and should have the same expectations of safety. And it's funny because nobody ever says, what are the white people doing in the North Shore? What are they doing on the Gold Coast? They're putting police on Michigan Avenue. Didn't nobody have to be like, do some extra special stuff? So I got to go protest to be safe in my own city. And I got to go protest a black woman to tell her about the plight of black people. I got to be honest with you. I don't expect that every black person going to be like Ungawa Black Power. But I do have an expectation that when we elect someone black, that a minimum, they have a special sensitivity to the issues. So when you think about, I want y'all to just remember when them bridges went up. Let's talk about it all the time. Right? Who put the bridges up? Because it wasn't to protect us. When they unleashed the Latino street organizations to protect their neighborhoods, that was taxpayers' dollars being used to assault us. So I just. And it's like, I know y'all gonna hit me with the women thing and the whole, let me tell you, I watch the criticism for my wife happen at a level that is unprecedented so I'm sensitive to that. But I do not, in my mind, believe that you should not get the credit of being black and then be completely desensitized to our issues. We are those people. That woman. The fact that she called Anjanette Young that woman, the fact that she was sitting in the car plotting with the attorney to give him come on, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm going to stop because I'm going to probably be in trouble now. Yeah, I'm not going to get all into that. There's so many different things. But it is the Maze Jackson Show. Hey, we got to get the married couple show on here. We got to get Tia and Early. Early, you run the house or you run around the house? I got a feeling with Tia, man, you might be running around the house. It's okay, dog. I know what it's like. I run around the house too. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler on a 420. Riis, what is in these cookies and Rice Krispie? I feel like this is a setup, dog.
See the mob boss.
I'm smelling these, man.
You the mob boss.
Oh, I might have to eat these at the 4 o'clock. All right, y'all. It is
4:20.
At 4:20 p.m. Okay, last meeting. All right, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all get out there and vote for Devin Gordine. Y'all also make sure y'all vote for Lori K. Westerfield and Ruthie Moore. They are running for local school council, and we want to see them victorious. Victorious. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back not after these messages. We'll be back tomorrow. So for Maze, you holding on the line? Early. Hey, man. See, the women done. See, we let them be independent, and next thing they know, they call on the phone to curse Maze out. Welcome to the Maze Jackson Show. It's my sister Tia Ewing. Tia, how you feeling this morning?
No, this not Tia.
Oh, this James. Hold on. Go ahead, James.
Let me say this, Maze. Please let me say this. You know, it's ironic, you know, because I hear a lot of this on the other radio stations. Black women calling in, talking about how she's criticized. First of all, the lady is wanted the criticism she gets. She's so disconnected from our community. It's pathetic. And if black women get away from the symbolism of her tenure in office and the fact that she's gay and look at her policies, get away from the fact that she's a woman. Because that's the only reason they stand up for her. They say, why do we criticize her? Because she's in a criticizable position if she's not doing what she's supposed to do. I get so sick of women talking about, don't be so hard on her. This woman is hard on everybody. She don't know how to talk to nobody. She don't know how to work with nobody. She act like she got this short man complex. The lady is just, she's not a likable person. So get away from the symbolism part of it because she's black, a black woman, and she's gay. Look at her policy. Look how she treats the community and the people in the community. That's all I gotta say, man.
I'm glad I let you talk. Look, we got the husband and wife tag team duo. Is it 2 calls or is it 1 call? They 2 calls, so this is what we gonna do. Well, hold on, we gonna bring both calls in, and we gonna Riis, bring them both in if you can.
You gotta call back.
Oh yeah, well, I'm on here.
Oh, early. All right, so hold on. So wait a minute. Shout out to my man Early Walker. In case y'all have not seen this brother, he is one of the top black philanthropists in Chicago. Whenever there is a need, he is always at the forefront doing his thing. And then also on the live line, his lovely wife, who I feel like I watched y'all courtship on Facebook, but she is also who I consider our reporter at Fox 32. It is Tia Ewing. Now Tia been on here talking smack, and I was talking smack to Early, but then Early was like, I run my house, and Tia agreed. So I'm a step back and I'm gonna let y'all have this conversation. But Tia, I gotta tell you, Mary Lori Lightfoot has used black people to no end, and I don't think that our criticism of her is not warranted. I think we have a higher level of expectation from a black elected official, especially being the first black person to be elected since Harold Washington. I'm going to throw it to you in there Early. I'll let you jump in.
I don't disagree, but here's the difference. All I'm saying is that I don't believe, okay? And listen, Mayor Lori Lightfoot's not my man. I don't live in the city of Chicago. I work in the city of Chicago. So I do have a vested interest because I have to go into the city of Chicago on a daily basis. But on the flip side, from what I've seen on the media side, I have never seen anyone, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, I was here during some of his time. I've never seen anyone get this much heat on a consistent basis on a national level like Lori Lightfoot. Now listen, I never said it wasn't warranted.
Okay.
I never said that I think that she, has a stellar track record. I never said any of that. I'm just saying from the optics of what it looks like, I have yet to see anyone catch this much heat. Now, do I believe that black people deserve better in the city of Chicago? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. But I also think that, and I heard what you said about, we do demand a change. Well, yeah, but no. And the reason why I say that is because if there's a shooting in Lori Lightfoot's neighborhood tonight, in Ravenswood tonight, there is a different response from the community. You see it. They're out there calling for a community meeting with CAP. You don't see that same response in every single neighborhood when it's happening in our neighborhoods every day. It is no reason why there shouldn't be some type of crime tactic announced, something announced that to fight this crime when babies are dying, black babies. Ain't nobody else's babies dying like ours in the city of Chicago. Where's the outrage? Why hasn't somebody called Mayor Lori Lightfoot to the carpet on this? This is ridiculous. So listen, I'm not here as her champion. I'm just stating the obvious of what it looks like. Now, do I think a lot of it is worth it? Absolutely. Yes. But we got to demand a little bit more change because I ain't seeing that on my end. I'm not.
Okay, so
okay.
All right, so that was Tia Ewing. Thank you, Tia, for your opinion. And now we gonna hear from the man of the house, philanthropist, businessman, and soon to be a television prank show star. It is the Mr. Early Walker. Mr. Walker, how are you? Y'all shooting videos in the bed and everything, man. Y'all going hard. What's going on, Early?
Thanks, man. So look, first and foremost, I will agree with my wife to a certain extent, which the ending part of that, and I feel like that's the reason why we should hold her more accountable. Because at the end of the day, nobody knows I love black people more than anybody. But as you stated, Maze, when you have a black mayor, and this has been the first black mayor that we've had since Harold Washington, of course we're going to hold her more accountable. We should hold her more accountable because at the end of the day, dollars need to be coming into our communities more, and that's why I say I agree with you, wife, to a certain extent, because that's the reason why we need to start holding her more accountable. Because you're right, when something happens in her community, we should get the same effects, we should get the same responses in our community, and that's what it boils down to. I mean, we can't sit here and just sit back and say, okay, hey, well, we didn't hold Rahm accountable, we didn't hold Dale, because yes, we did, but there definitely is going to be a certain or a different type of outlook as it relates to her, because why? She's our mayor, quote unquote. She's supposed to be our mayor. So if she's our mayor, well, guess what? We're going to hold her accountable.
And I want to add to this.
But she's not, though. And I say this respectfully. I say it respectfully, but when she was running, did she show you that she was about to be our mayor? Like, I mean, we got to stop being crazy. Like, we just be supporting people and throwing support behind people who already showed you what it is. Just like them dang on Kardashians. Black people love them. All they doing is culturally appropriating us. But yet the Kardashians. The Kardashians. It don't take nothing to go put plastic surgery and get a butt now. But we falling all out over them. So it's the same kind of ideology.
So let me just
it's
respond.
Same kind of ideology.
So I agree to an extent, but let me just say this. I think this audience probably ain't checking for the Kardashians.
No, they not.
Right? Like, this audience ain't checking for the Kardashians. So I do want to make sure that we segment our audience. And I do think that the thing with Mayor Lightfoot, Tia, why you're seeing so much is because it's coming from black and white, right? When it was Rahm, the stuff was happening to black people, so black people were screaming bloody murder, but nobody pays attention to black people, right? So Rahm was the greatest thing to slice bread to white media, to white folks right now. So you didn't hear them complaining when Laquan was killed or when he presided over things that were happening over there. Right now, so our screams and hollers have always been the same. That's why we went crazy over the Laquan McDonald, because we said we weren't going to have it. Now, Mayor Lightfoot, who has spent her whole time catering to white people, to your point, she didn't even come to us, right? She went to white folks. Those white folks are like, we ain't going. So now she's trying to pivot back to black folks who like, no, sis, you kicked us to the curb. And so I don't want us to mistake that she's getting it more. She is a black woman who thought she was a white man. And initially, as long as you stay in your box, sis, as long as you keep the Negroes on their side of town and let the bridges up, you straight. But once y'all come over to our side of town, you back in the black box. She's back in the black box. And so now, as you're reporting in Rogers Park, wasn't nobody in Rogers Park, no white folks was protesting Rahm in Rogers Park. You go up and see who's protesting the mayor, who's coming out. It ain't just black people, it's black folks and it's white folks. And so I do think that as we look at this, right, black people's pain and suffering has always been a subject of pimpery. It is just usually we have not seen in 35 years a black mayor, first of all, and then when that black mayor shows disdain to our pain and suffering because she's catering to the white folks, and then when the white folks say, oh, no, you can't come back. We got Mike Quigley now. We got one of our own. So you could play the role of I've been a black guy who was on the other side and you think you good, to the white folks always remind you, you still ain't one of us. You could hang out, and what's happening to the mayor is she done crossed all the black people because she was hanging out with the white folks. Now the white folks say, you still OJ.
Well, your audience is intelligent enough to know the difference, though, and that's the problem.
But that's why she's giving this card away. That's why she's giving this card to
exactly
all the people
what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
That's right. Go into the black churches all of a sudden. Speaking at the black churches. I mean, it ain't nothing but a game. And so my question is, when as a whole are we going to wake up and see it? Because we all got to see it. We got to see it for what it is. And if we don't all see it for what it is, we fall right back into the same dang on rut that we're currently in the city of Chicago. I wasn't saying that it was warranted. I was just merely saying that it's all over. It's coming from everywhere now. It's literally on a national scale.
Because she's terrible. Because she's terrible everywhere.
Blacks have not just started to need gas now. Blacks have not just started to need help now. They needed help since she's been in office. But don't wait until election time to start pulling out some gas cards because Uncle Willie done pulled them out. That's not that. She should have been pulling those gas cards out. She should have been pulling those water bills out, those parking meter tickets. All of that stuff should have been done. That's the issue. That's the problem. Don't start doing that. That's the problem with a lot of politicians. You cannot, as a politician, you cannot start doing stuff at certain times because we're going to call you out on it. It just is what it is. One thing about Willie, say what you want to say about Willie, but Willie's been given since, I think he said, since 1996. And that's true. That's a fact. So you can't call him out on that. Now, you can say what you want to say. You can say he's doing it for the election. You can say whatever you want to say. But you cannot say Willie has not been known for giving. And guess what? He spends his own money. Don't spend my money to give it to the city in the words of what? We need help? We've been needing help. But don't spend my tax dollars. Don't spend my tax money to help the people. Spend your money. Go in your pocket. You've been getting paid. Go in your pocket.
Go ahead, husband.
Look at that. And can I tell you what? And what I love is how y'all fell in line. And at the end of the day, the conversation went in a big circle. And Early led. Tia jumped in behind, and I think we all arrived at the same point. And I think so let me say, I think this was an awesome conversation because a lot of times we're saying the same thing, but we may be talking past each other. And so it was just super dope to have this conversation. First of all, I'm honored to have two celebrities, right? Like, Early is like Early is like an earned media celebrity. I'm gonna have to hire Sean or something because that dude be on TV all the time. And then he got his wife, who is a media superstar. I'm telling you, Tia, when you come on, we be ready for you to be. You be serious, boy. I be like, you be ready to go, and we be like, everybody be like, there go our girl. So I just want to thank y'all both for calling in, and I got to get y'all both in studio together because I think that would be a fun show as well. And man, maybe me and you and Carrie got to go out to me, you, Carrie, Early, and Tia got to grab a meal too as well because I think there's got to be some more convening of the black couples. But y'all, I'm running over time. So I got to get up out of here because Riis
okay, we sorry, man.
No, don't be sorry. No. Don't be sorry. This is your show. This is your platform too. And I got to get y'all both in here one day together. I know y'all don't be liking to get up super, super early. I'm sure early you probably up because you saving the world probably at 4 a.m. like me. But I got to get both of y'all.
He up at like 5, 6. He up at 5 or 6 in the morning.
We got to get both of y'all in the studio, and we got to have some more of these conversations. And I would love to have both of you both together and individually to come in and sit and co-host with us. But thank you for taking time out of both of y'all busy schedules. Look, y'all, we got to get up out of here because I got work to do. Plus, it's 4:20, so I'm trying to get through so I can get through.
Oh, Lord. Keep doing your thing, man. We proud of you.
I appreciate y'all. We got a caller? All right, go to the call. Let's take the last call. It's the Maze Jackson Show. What's up, caller?
Hey, what's up, Maze? This is Will from Jeffrey Manor, but I live in California now.
What's up, Will from Jeffrey Manor in California now?
Yeah, man. I'm calling because, like, mentioning what Tia was talking on relative to the mayor. And like the other brother talked about, all the black women calling in defending her. Hey, nobody caught more heat as a black mayor than Harold Washington. I don't know where she was during his time and during his years, but he caught a lot of heat. And it was just ongoing. And if it wasn't black people standing up for him, I mean, man, it was tough. So, it comes with the territory. Yeah. She may not think so, but she's a black woman, a black person first. So that's my comment.
I appreciate that call, man. Thank you very much. Anybody else up there, Riis? All right, y'all. It is the Maze Jackson Show. Well, every single day. Oh, so for anybody else, that's it. For Maze, Riis, Ruthie, and Todd. Did I say Todd? For Maze and Riis and Ruthie, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show. Thanks to Richard Boykin for stopping in. Shout out to Tia and Early for calling in. Shout out to my beautiful, lovely wife. Hey, y'all. And I told you, miss me with the in-between. Miss me with the in-between, right? I don't trip on nobody doing nothing. But it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back tomorrow because every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Serving on a local school council provides a unique opportunity to become engaged in your community and play an active role in policy decisions affecting your school. LSCs are critical to ensuring positive student outcomes in a dynamic school environment. Local school council members are elected every 2 years by parents, community members, and school staff.
Chicago Public School local school councils elections are coming up. Wednesday, April 20th are elementary school elections, and Thursday, April 21st are high school elections. Don't forget to cast your votes on April 20th for elementary school candidates and April 21st for high school candidates.
These LSC